Today is endings and beginnings, and I'm going to have my players introduce themselves, and we actually are catching the action as they are having a conversation concerning not only what they have been experiencing recently, but also what they are going to do with what they have in their camp. I will turn it over, therefore, to Documencer. Allie, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Ali. Documancer. I play Umara Brightwood, the ancestral barbarian. And what was the last one?
Now that was it. Just you're introducing
All
yourselves,
right.
and then you're going to have a conversation as characters in role.
Sure.
So
Sure.
Who next?
go ahead, Gene.
I'm Miri Elwin. I play, I am in character, Miri Elwin. I play a cleric and paladin mix, mostly cleric, touch of paladin. That's it.
Cord.
Um, I play Cord Tord Brobdingnag, the Goliath fighter. Level 19.
Cool.
Wow.
And Jacob.
I'm still 18.
I think you're 19.
No, we're 19 now.
Oh, okay. That's right. I'm a 17 cleric and 2 levels of paladin.
I am Jackson, and I'm a fighter. I am a human fighter who's in the military, and
That's it.
well, yeah. Last time I was level 3.
Yep, it's been a while.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys can take over the conversation. You guys are currently
Marching north.
considerably north of the city, and have made a bit of a scientific, if you will, discovery. So you may want to discuss that, but that's up to you guys.
What was the discovery? Remind me.
The Yarlum. The bug creatures.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the Yarlum are the threat in the north that we have to deal with.
Okay.
Like, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure.
Have they not been on Nycos recently?
Oh, they were in hibernation since third it, right?
For a long time.
Right, yeah.
Sometime before the Revening, they were put into those cases.
Reason I believe that they are the threat of the north is because the one we called Click, who we interviewed last time, claimed that there were once hives from Concordia to the Mornglade or something like that?
No, Concordia all the way to Mandigan.
I'll leave a map.
Hey, Jonathan.
Yes.
I looked through Facebook recently, and there's opening for something called D&D Theater of the Mind.
Yep, that's Scott. Yep, you should definitely play in that. That's Scott GMing.
Yeah. I sent in the comment to ask for the link into it to Discord.
Good.
And I'm just waiting for the response.
He just posted it, so it'll be just a little while, but congratulations. Good job.
Yeah. I got asked, where's the theater of...
Let's talk about that stuff off stream. These guys have time that they want to talk about other stuff, Jacob, all right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is it. You're in game as Jackson, so talk to them as Jackson. All right.
Where was that second place? From Concordia to
Mandigan.
I'm not familiar with either name.
Well, Concordia is north of you, but Tamandagan is in Trundlespund in the south.
Okay.
You want me to put up the map so you guys can look at it? I can do that too.
I need to get that other map from Discord. I have the wrong map.
you also have the map now available on YouTube, on Twitch, if you need to look at it. But yeah, for you guys, it's easy to just grab the one in Discord. In Splinter Speak. So, Documentary, or Ali, you might want to let them know what your thoughts were about where you'd like to go direction-wise.
Well, Umar is kind of pent up with how everything is going in the world and has decided to ascend.
No, to Godhead.
So she's considering the same path that Accord was considering earlier. The advantage would be that if you traveled it together, then collectively you could actually engage with those things instead of it just being a one-person on one-person kind of.
You know what? If I may speak my mind on this subject, the reason I considered ascending, as you put it, is because I think it would give us a great, vantage point over what's going on in the world. So I'm all for starting the pathway down to Godhood.
Interesting framework of pathward down. You've already ascended beyond Godhood and you'd be coming backwards a step or so.
You can't. Cord is the peak of all evolution on Nycos.
Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, jump right in. Welcome. This is Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Hello.
Hey, Mary.
And let me do this. I don't know how this works in. Is there a possibility for me to do private speak, do you think? So I can talk to Jesse while you guys are doing your thing?
There is a way to break up.
Breakout rooms. Just put you and yourself with, or you and Jesse in one, and then us in the other.
Okay. So let's see.
It's on the bar on the very far right.
I don't know how that'll affect the stream though.
That's a good point.
Let me see here.
No.
On the far right.
Jonathan, I don't know how that will affect the stream.
No, I'm going to be looking at it to make sure that I don't mess it up. I promise.
Alright.
I apologize. I did not mean to jump in. I
Jump in.
But I'm not ready.
That's why.
You're never ready.
I got. Jesse, meet me in Discord. That way we're off of this and it won't affect anything.
All right, I'm sorry. Good.
All right.
Okay.
That way I'll just mute myself. You guys keep talking, knock yourself out, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right?
Okay.
Sure.
So I'm here. If you need me, shout. I'll be listening, but I won't be talking. All right?
Sure.
All right. Okay. Is there a particular thing you have to do this?
Well, the tools were given were explained to us that there are specifics. I think that there are other ways to ascend it, but one of the key things is to have a prism at hand.
But we don't have a prism at hand, do we?
Nope.
Not yet,
Hello?
but
I'm here.
I do know.
But
Hello.
you do remember there was one up in the north at the
Yeah,
Unicorn's
we turned down their
Horn.
volume 'cause they're
Yes.
I know we picked it up, but it was also
it's pretty
destroyed,
funny.
and I don't know if it was in the same iteration.
I,
I think it was
I
another
apologize.
iteration.
I was just
It
like,
might be possible that it's
I
still
saw
there.
the link and I was like, okay.
Yes, and there is a set of books or scroll or
All right,
something
so I turned that down. Can you
that
hear me better?
says the
Oh,
location
it's fine.
of the other ones.
I'm fine.
So all we
Yeah,
need
it's
is
not working for
at
me
least
here. I have to
one,
do this differently.
and we can, or at least I can pursue it.
Okay.
Just before we continue, I have been wanting to ascend since I made this character, so I'm all for it.
All right. So,
Okay.
Cool.
Hello.
so I'm glad you want to
And
play on a different night,
Mary
or
is
do you want to just
not
talk
wanting
about the
to
other
ascend.
situation?
Well, I wasn't
So
sure
she
what was
will
going
go
on.
along
so
with both of you.
You could be Umara's cleric.
join?
No, she's a cleric of
Right, we
Eris.
just posted that we were going to be in the other chat, right?
But
She's not.
Yeah,
Umo is
and I
like,
was like, okay.
you're part
And then I
druid,
realized,
so
oh shit, something's probably
Yeah, she
going
is
on.
a good
Yeah,
cleric.
it's actually
She's a
this
neutral
is
good cleric.
the Paragons, the 20th level dudes.
Umar, you're part druid, so
20th?
that might
Yeah,
work
these guys have
out,
been playing
question
for
I
mark?
3.5
don't know if
years.
she's
I
green
might.
pale though.
I'd
So
probably
they've
need to
Holy
find
shit,
a
I so
druid
apologize.
follower
No,
of
it's fine.
sorts,
It's
but
fine.
I already
Matter
have
of fact, they're
followers in a way.
It's actually a perfect time to do this because
And
they're in the
as
middle of
My
figurative,
plan,
I
crisis of
figuratively look back
identity.
at my
At 20th
army.
level, they should be ready to ascend
yeah,
to
my plan
godhood, so
was
to speak.
to
But
use
there's
my
so much
company
left
to
to do at
spread out,
Nycos. They're
so
trying to
I
figure
had
out whether they
followers when
should
the time
go
came,
ahead
but
for
I never
ascension
really
and then
got
try to
around
come
to
back
it.
and solve the problems
Mhm.
from that perspective, or to stay down at the lower level and
That's okay, though.
keep grinding and feel like their heads
I have
against them
plenty
against
of
the wall because they're not
options.
earning anything for it.
I'll get there when I get there. Right now, I want to focus on
Well, do you need
getting my hands on a prism.
Well, I was thinking what you could do
Alright.
is simply step in as kind of like the voice
I
of
can
reason.
worry
I
about
could give you
followers later.
like
That
the four
just requires
cardinal rules of
communication.
ascending, and you can kind of like guide them into it, so they think that it's coming
Okay,
from.
so
They'll know it's coming from me, but it's coming
I'm
through
gonna go
you
back
as
to
a
my notes
source.
about the
But you don't actually have
prisms.
to have a character
So
at
they
their
can't
level, so
exist
you're
in
not
this,
going
or
to be
they exist
offending
in
them
this
for
time, but
playing at a higher level
they're
than you are.
scattered throughout the known universe as like
Okay.
dots.
Kind of like your congressman, only I'll give
Yeah,
you
they're basically
better
destroyed.
guide, better direction.
Okay.
We can
All
grow
right.
'em.
So what you need to be able to convey to them is that there are
Yeah,
four
we can.
steps.
They
The first step
exist
is a test
currently
of
as
physics,
well as our
which is
shattered.
a physical capability, which means whatever their limits will be
Either
determined
they're
by what their physical
there's
prowess
there.
is. So each one would be given
That's
a
what
specific
it sounds like because there are
Hold on, let
locations
me take
where
notes.
they are. We can go and look
Hold
for
on.
To
them,
overcome.
or we can
Hold,
The
go
hold
second
on.
will
and
be a mental.
grow
The
them
third will be an
ourselves.
emotional, and the
hold on a
final
second.
will
We've
be
attempted that, but
spiritual.
we
Hold
haven't
on a second. Let me get, I just
Actually,
need
I
a
think
solidified
scratch
that.
piece of paper.
No.
all we have
I
to
got
do is
Okay,
create a
physical,
machine, I think, and
fight a
then put
monster.
that
Right.
skeleton thing on it,
Mental, overcome a puzzle.
and then
I
What,
don't think you can
mental?
force it to forget though.
Emotional.
No, a
This
person
I
has
just,
to
you
be
just call it the Lady
grown.
and the Tiger. I'll let you describe it as you may.
Wasn't
And I
it
think you're familiar
grown?
with that story.
There are still locations where the prisms are.
Which story is that?
The Lady and the Tiger.
I'm gonna let you make this call.
A man is captured by an enemy
I'm
government,
totally gonna
and they
leave it
take
up
him
to
into a
you.
room and say to him, "You have two door
Omar.
choices. One door will lead you to a lady who will guide
Yeah,
you to
he's
freedom.
gonna dump it all
The
on
other
you.
will open to a
Omar.
tiger that will eat your face."
Oh,
But
I don't want any
each of them
responsibility,
will
but
have
at
a
the same
sacrifice
time, I
you must
want
make.
power.
And the whole trick is
You can
that
go ahead
the
and
final test, they actually have
lead,
to
I'll
end up
follow.
choosing to sacrifice
well, I know that
something of
we
their
will
value.
need to go to.
And so it's their
Let
moral
me just
choice.
look at my
You won't have to
Okay.
do the puzzle building. I'll do that, but that's what they have to be
Discord
instructed
because the
on. Is that
notes are there.
Sacrifice
Where did
something
Where do we
important,
put it?
correct?
That one.
Right. And then finally the spiritual choice, and that is to
Nexus.
determine the direction
We
of
have
their
to go to
faithful.
Nexus.
Are they proselytizing, or are they having to actually handpick
And
their followers?
does anyone know where that is?
Oh,
So, for example, on
Nexus.
Nycos, the Veils are proselytizing. They go out and try to make people into their different
I don't know
Veils.
where the Nexus
But
is.
the specific gods
But
pick
Well,
out their own
here's your
people.
thing.
So it's either or.
We are level
Shouldn't
19
we find out at
adventurers.
least what's in the north so we
Okay,
can inform
so-
somebody?
To clarify,
Yes.
I think we might have found it
I'm
already.
going to suggest-
I don't
I
well,
think
I'm going
this
to direct
is the
them if they wish to
north.
ascend,
You mean
No, this is not the north.
that they must defeat
north is
something
north.
physical,
Yes.
the monster.
In the ice.
They
Plans.
must
yeah, up in
defeat
Concordia.
a great
But
puzzle.
I do think
Yes.
we have found the threat,
Write down great.
which is the Yarlum.
A great puzzle.
I do
For
think there is
emotional,
something
they
in
must
Concordia
sacrifice
that might
something
be able to
important.
help get to Nexus.
Something that is most precious to them.
All right.
Something most
If we're gonna
valued.
go all the way up to Concordia, then I think I might split my army in half and send half back down to Bridgeton,
And then-
only
And
take
then
half to the
finally
mountains
choose the
in
form of
cold.
their followers.
I might do the same.
Then finally, for the spiritual, they must determine the direction that their
Right.
followers will take.
I might actually leave a
Whether
note.
that be devotion
I've got a
or
bunch of
sacrifice.
notes on gods here.
Yes, you can. They actually get to pick all of that. So yeah, you're just going to guide them into that knowledge. I'm going to set you as a guy named Wallace. They've met him before, but he's going to look markedly different, and therefore it's easier for me to have you play him.
Interesting. Okay, I will do my best.
All right, sounds good. We can hop back in then. All right, see you in a second.
Uh, yep. I'll see you in a second.
Alrighty, guys. Sorry for that delay. I did hear the mention that Omara might be leaving in an hour or so. So I want to make this as exciting as possible and as thrilling as possible. So what have we decided? Are we going to be pursuing the idea of deity at this point,
Yes,
or is this
I
just
am.
that there's two of you? Because I think
In an hour.
in an hour.
Gene. Sorry,
Oh,
Mary.
Jean. You said Umara.
Oh, I thought it was Umara that
sorry.
said she was leaving in an hour.
No,
No,
I
Gene's
said-
Gene's not leaving until the last.
I
We're-
said that I plan to send Umara.
Oh, send Amara. I thought you said I thought you were saying that you were leaving tomorrow. I was going, what? Wait, whoa. Alrighty. So, the fact that two of you have considered ascension, what has Mary decided? Is she also on the same path, or is she?
No,
Nope.
she is not on that path.
She's
They-
still got stuff to do in this world.
I have things to do. I mean, I have to
So,
try to bring up peace and harmony to Nycos.
okay. So metaphorically, it sounds like Mary's actually willing to step in and take Cord's army to the next level if necessary, to the next conflict on his behalf. Because if you go down this path towards deityship, you will have your followers to fall back on in the long term. But the tests of deity are individualistic. Is that understood?
Yes. In
So
fact,
it
I
makes
had
perfect
planned-
sense for Mary, especially with the fact that she's tired of having to follow other people's guidance and things like that, and she's kind of realized with her old age and influence, this is the best thing she can come up with. This is to save as many people as possible to actually step in control of the military. Now, have we decided what we're going to do with the Yarlim that you do have? Are you going to let your first have his family, or are we going to? Nice.
No. Denial. No. He's not going to have his family.
Yeah, those I want you to take back with you wherever you go.
So you're going to take
maybe
you're going to dig up the other 66 containers and take them all?
Oh no, we only took 6 of them.
We
burned the
destroyed them.
rest.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you did take 6, but you are going to take the 6 home, or you're just taking the 1?
We're going to take all 6 of them.
But only
There's-
one's allowed to be alive until you get the piece.
Until we get more information.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I don't want to destroy all of them and find out they
But-
might be a help or an ally.
Yeah. It is imperative.
But I don't want them to have the other ones, which makes their group, of 6. I don't want that to happen either.
It is imperative that we keep the possibility of a hive
Gotcha.
alive.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So the other 2 of you. I'm going to have to take a few minutes of the earthly story to deal with the spiritual side of things, if that's okay, Mary.
Oh, that's okay. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
As I said, that's not where I'm going, but I'd love to listen.
Alrighty, fair enough. And Jackson's assistance will be more than likely of great help to you when dealing with the army and moving forces around. So this first portion of the story will basically be dealing with Umara and Cord. Is that okay?
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So the 2 of you have kind of decided on this dual pathway towards excellence, if you will. And as is usual in these kind of stories, it's going to start with a vigil. Are either of you familiar with the concept of the nightly vigil with a K? K-N-I-G-H-T-L-Y? The nightly vigil?
I am.
No,
Of course you are, Mary. You're not here.
I am not.
All right. So when a person would be determined worthy of knighthood, they would spend an entire 12-hour period polishing and shining their armor and their weapon to a glistening gleam to be worthy of the purity that a knight's rank would represent. In this same kind of a fashion, to prepare for a visit, if you will, to the realms beyond, you guys would go through the same kind of thing. I imagine Umara's is going to be much more of an earthly parallelism where she's dealing with making sure she can create a plant a plant and trim a bush and pluck a seed and that whole natural healing ritual stuff that goes along with
More,
your tribal.
more wild mother.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Your tribal background and such. Whereas Cord,
Mhm.
7,000 push-ups and 600 sit-ups and 18,
Oh yeah, gonna
1,800.
rustle some boulders.
Yeah, exactly. Slamming your head against some rock someplace, all those kind of things would be necessary for the preparations. But at
Sharpen my
midnight,
maul.
the way the vigil starts is that midnight you basically go to a clearing wherein the sky is open and above, and there's nothing between you and the heavens and all of that, so that you're prepared for ascension. And as you guys are sitting and concerning yourself with this, what should appear in the sky above you but a very deep purple W across the sky, against the mauve, the deeper red. So the purple against the red is kind of a garish combination. And suddenly, standing on the hillside just above you, looking down, is a figure that you somehow, in one way, recognize. 'Cause I think both of you have met Wallace before.
Yes.
You met him.
Yeah,
just
Wallace. Back at the ziggurat. Yeah.
Right. So, who should be standing there but Wallace, looking down, kind of surprised look on his face. However, he doesn't quite look the same, nor will his voice sound the same, as I'm having Wallace, Jesse step in and play the role of Wallace. He's been basically briefed on what his role in this will be, but you basically are going to be inducting yourself into the idea of the order of deity by speaking with Wallace. So he's going to walk down beatifically, raising his hands before him as he walks, much like any prophet of history would. And take it away, Wallace.
Hello, my friends.
Hello.
Are
Nice to see
you
you, Wallace?
are you coming to seek ascension?
Indeed.
We are.
Are you prepared?
Yes.
I don't know. What does it mean to be prepared?
There are 4 trials: a physical, a mental, an emotional, and a spiritual trial.
I'm 1/4 of the way there.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 3/4 there.
But I can probably improvise.
Are you prepared for the physical, which
I
is
am, yes.
a test of courage and bravery? Because you must defeat something, and only you know what. And then you must also, there's a challenge to be had, a puzzle of sorts. If you can best it, that is the second task. The third is emotional. You must give something that is vital to you, of the utmost importance. And finally, the spiritual. You must decide how your followers will proceed after this. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Yes.
Then if you are ready, and I raise my hands,
Check your chat there.
Lord Cord of Cord, defeat the Tarask of Tirchum. Defeat the Gorgon of Goldor.
That's Lady Umara.
Sorry. What now?
Yeah. Repeat that part for Lady Umara.
To Lady Umara, you must defeat the Gorgon of Goldor.
Gorgon of Dolgor.
Goldur. And Lord Cord, you must defeat the Tarask.
Aha! I thirst for Tarask soup. Oh, legit, that's on my character bucket list. Eat Tarask soup.
I wish you the best.
Thank you, Wallace.
Thank you, Wallace.
He claps his hands and snaps his fingers and vanishes into the dust. All right.
Holy frick.
You didn't want anything small.
This is awesome.
Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual.
Holy crap.
Just for clarification, Jesse, go ahead and put together either a stenographer or a soldier at arms to accompany one of these folks. So they're allowed to take basically one assistant with them. So.
Oh, that's great, Wallace. Oh, okay. I thought that said Wallace as Jesse.
It did. Wallace. Jesse was Wallace.
I was portraying him briefly.
He filled in for me because I wanted you to see that Wallace changes over time by the changes you guys make in time. So he's not the same person he was not even 4 or 5 weeks ago when you saw him before. Things have already happened. So basically, this basically allows us to have Miri accompany one of you, and then Jesse will Gene will accompany one of you as Miri, and then whatever character Jesse comes up with will be the accompaniment for the other, and then Jackson can go with whichever group. So that's if you want to go with him on the accompanying of this specific task. Unless you want to keep pursuing the north, Miri, we can always go in a third direction as well. Are you convinced that this is as far north as you have to go? Mary must have stepped away from the keyboard. All right. So yeah, what's Cord's? I wonder what Cord's response is to his challenge here.
I would say that Cord is like pumping his fist in the air and clicking his heels together. He's super hyped up about this. This is his thing. Could not be happier with what's happening to him.
What about Umara?
Concerned, but prepared.
Yeah, at least in Cord's case, he has a mental picture of what he thinks the Tarask might look like. A Gorgon can be anything from a wild bull to a Medusa. So who knows what the Gorgon of Goldagur looks like?
Wait a minute, isn't it like
lovely.
a metal bull that breathes poison mist? According to
that is a base Gorgon, but the Gorgon mythology includes everything from that kind of a Gorgon all the way to Medusa.
Oh, Mara, I feel bad for you.
Nah, it's anything that I haven't dealt with before.
Okay, Umar, you have to promise me one thing.
That depends on what it is.
After we become gods, we're having a rematch, okay?
Okay, that's fair.
Ooh, that's a very nice picture of Miri as she used to was. The actual Miri.
She has really short curly hair though. I can't find that. Her hair is a riot of curls and it's short. But
so what you do is you send that picture over to somebody like Matt, or even better yet, send it to Corey Rasakma, and tell him that you want a picture like that with pretty hair.
More. Her eyes are slightly aquamarine. Miri's are hugely aquamarine. So maybe open up the eyes and a little more aquamarine. And she doesn't wear lipstick, so tone that down.
As a precaution, the puzzle might be a case of mistaken identity. So if you would not mind, Umara, would you please give me a piece of information that only you know, and I will do the same?
Fair. My son's name is Cord Walker.
Cord Walker. Okay. My greatest fear is failure. That is above death. And my goal is getting very powerful.
And so that's
Could
that,
Miri have gone at least to the point where they disappear doing their thing?
yeah, you're there. They came. They're actually.
Okay.
They actually. That metaphysical thing only happened literally overnight. So you're like you were expecting them to be gone on this great thing, and then they're still there in the morning. You're kind of like surprised.
Okay.
Hey, Mary.
Hi. Before you go, I would like to give you a blessing, and I will pray for you while you're gone. You will achieve that which you wish to achieve, and overcome that which you need to overcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay! Blessings are always good things.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer is more powerful. But you'll do both.
Yeah, but
I know.
I'm talking about the actual definition of blessing. Most people think of blessing in terms of the mechanics of the game, only giving it's only a plus one, but a blessing by definition is the laying hands of one person on another and stating an affirmation fact and a dedication of spirit. So she did exactly that with what she said. So I imagine she basically laid her hand on each of your shoulders as she said that. So
Yep. Did one at a time.
yep. So each of you has received a blessing that's different from the standard rulebook blessing.
And then she kisses both of you. May you achieve what you need to.
And so for mechanical purposes to make this hold more value, she is providing
A hero's feast for them to eat.
well, yeah, that can be a going away present, but I was referring to the blessing itself. The blessing will convey to you the opportunity to take back 12 seconds of time. So 2 rounds later, you can change something. Does it make sense? In other words, she's focusing on her need for you to stay alive so much that she's going to give you an extra 12 seconds to reconsider your options when it comes to a bad point in your engagements going here forward through the process. So it's literally a retroactive BP. Does it make sense?
Repeat for me.
She's giving you Mary's blessing. We'll call the spell that. We'll call it Mary's blessing. And Mary's blessing is a true blessing that conveys to you a retroactive BP. So even 1 round after something, you can say, I'd like to go ahead and pretend like that didn't happen. Can we re-roll that and redo that entire round?
All right. Interesting.
So these are both individual engagements, which would, if we played them out mechanically, I don't know if you've looked at the stats for a Tarask or a greater Gorgon or a greater Medusa. We're looking at several hundred hit points to be taken down, plus regeneration, plus. Do we want to role play through all of that, or do we want to use another methodology?
I only need one thing to beat a Tarask.
Really?
And that's a big ass hammer. If I go to High Peak and have them make me a big ass hammer, I can beat a Tarask.
I would like to seek beauty before I go and face this Gorkin.
Okay. Well, so that actually kind of makes sense. If he's going to seek, well, he knows what hammer he wants. You don't actually want them to make you one. You want justice back, right?
Yeah, sure. You know what? Actually, yeah, that'd be better if I knew where to get that. Wait, I actually have the list here.
Tell me which one is yellow, by the way, when you get there.
Yellow's it's a spear.
Yes. Okay.
So justice is the hammer, yeah?
Yep.
It can be found in cities. It's heat blue hammer in cities. That's all I have written there for my notes on justice.
In cities.
Yeah. I think it's a hammer of civilization. So
So many of the
Oh,
cities.
sorry, I got it. Beauty is purple. Extra strength is red. Staff of youth is green. Hammer is heat and blue. Spear is seed and yellow. Sword is death and orange.
is there a silver thing?
So, can you be more specific?
A silver gauntlet?
Oh, ha ha. You're a funny man.
Got him.
Omara, think this.
I cannot see anything.
Oh, you can't see the picture of me slapping my fingers?
Oh, ha.
Silver because of the...
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Just like it, only different. No gauntlet, sorry.
That's trademarked.
I'm the annoying person that's like, oh,
One thing that Wallace would have told you, but I forgot to tell him to tell you, is that it might interest you to know that there is now evidence in the now that the devices are exigent because somebody has found the yellow prism.
Oh. That's good news.
Exigent means what?
Present, I believe? Or no, it's...
Define exigent, please.
Exigent means it is here in existence currently.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, so the yellow... Okay, wow.
You do remember where we found the red one, right?
Yes, we found it.
At the
Back in time.
board.
Right,
It was used. Now I wonder if it's back there again.
I actually could be what it is. But I think because I actually have a list of where they are.
Okay, so for clarification, the word I meant to use was existent. Exigent is applicable, but it's not the precise word, so thank you for calling me on that. Existent means that something has been proven to be in the world now. Exigent means that it is something that is pressing and demanding. So,
Okay.
So the fact that a prism is in the now. Oh, good luck, Wallace, with the drama at home. Bless your heart. Thank you for playing, for being here as long as you could. We hope to see you again soon. Everybody say bye.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah,
Or
see you tomorrow.
Visions of Corwin.
Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, he mentioned he wouldn't. Be
He's
able to
got a
stay overnight.
lovely deep voice.
He does voiceovers. I told him he needs to
Oh.
get on Fiverr, make $1 million, and then that way he can fund Nycos for us. he can be our guy that does in a world blah blah blah. There are only 7 prisms blah blah blah.
This summer.
Coming to a theater near you. Alrighty. He did give you the snippet of information that a prism has been found in the now. And if there is a prism here in the now of the now, then the argument about whether or not this is an iteration or not will be concluding.
Wait. We're in 8th now? Is it no longer than now?
No, that's it if they prove it.
Ah.
I'm just saying that someone has claimed to have found. You have to find it because it may be that it's simply another time out of place one like the red was.
I wonder if Jasper still remembers me, or strength. Or I'm sorry, strength. Ruby, what?
Jasper,
axe,
Ruby.
etc. I wonder if they still remember me.
Only one way to find out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna walk outside, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, buddy, you there? You there, Jasper? You there? No. Okay.
Damn it.
There
Wasn't
might
that-
be a clue. There might be a clue here as to where it could have been led to.
Oh, I'm gonna actually go and look at the documents and see what they have to say about the items.
Alrighty. So if the Yarlim were the enemy of the North, and you've captured you've killed all but 6 of them and captured the others, do you consider the war against the North to have already been completed? Because it doesn't sound like there was much of a war fought.
There was actually no fighting. We kind of just rolled up and woke them up, and then I would say, if you look at it strictly from semantics, then the war has not been fought yet. But I don't.
Just want to know what Miri's direction with the army is going to be.
Okay.
So we are in Concordia, correct?
I think we're still marching.
No,
towards
you're just barely in. You're still in the Mornglade. You haven't reached the crux of the Mornglade yet.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. You did get to the crux. That's where you found these guys. Was in that temple, right? This is still in the Mornglade. Yeah, this was just the temple in the center of the green ziggurat.
Well, the prophecy that Vex made to me now, I'll get to fight an enemy in my future that's stronger than me, is not coming true, which is convenient.
You said is now coming true or not coming true?
Is now coming true. I get to fight
Something
the big
bigger.
bad.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So to fight the Trask, I either need.
Well, first of all, you'd have to know what a Tarask is, because remember, even though you as a player can go look it up in a book and see it,
that's right.
2 things to remember. Number one is it's a Nycosian Tarask, so it isn't going to be exactly the same. And second of all, you've never actually even read about one, let alone fought one. So you'd have no idea what its capabilities are.
I'm now more excited because I'm not going to have to hide the fact that the first time I got the monster manual, it was like the one stat block I read because it was so cool.
Right.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to be disappointed.
Okay. Let me see. I guess I could do research on the Tarask. How would I do that, though?
Well, whose libraries might have information on the Tarask that you could get to?
The elves have a library.
The
They're about
dwarves. The Grimm. Your friends, the Grimm, have a library.
his friends. He doesn't like the Grimm.
Are you kidding? Cord signed agreements with the Grimm before.
Am I?
You have.
Zenith Splinter Shield is a Grimm.
Go to Zenith and see if you can get access to a library.
We're like up in the
He's in Bridgeton. He's been in Bridgeton
Yes,
for
but
a while.
you're now 65 miles into the jungle.
However, I have
We build an
band of
archway
wizards.
and
Oh,
jump
Miri.
back.
Oh yeah, that's right, Miri. You can do that.
Let's get out of this area. I don't want a gate in this area.
Do you want to put a gate next to the green ziggurat?
It's green.
It's called that because of the emerald moss and stuff that grows on it.
Wait,
No,
is the black dragon going to be around here though?
Yeah, there's a green dragon up here too.
The
The black dragon, right?
Yeah.
It was a green we faced.
Nope.
No, you face black.
Here's a black.
It was a black.
Yeah.
The hermit dragon.
Yep.
People
Yes.
who, if there's someone who joined the stream as we were having this conversation, I apologize for how badly that can be taken out of context.
Which part?
I was talking about fighting a black. Um,
Black Dragon.
um,
It was in
Black
context.
Dragon.
It was in context. We'd said a green first.
very
So,
good. Um, but yeah, okay. Miri,
Yes.
I guess we could. So me
If
and
we get
Umara.
up out of here, just out of here, enough to be on clean land, I will set up a gate
Okay,
and you
Miri,
can
you
go back.
understand that me and Umara. Miri, you understand that me and Umara are going to go do some quests to become gods, right? You're on board with that, right?
Yet it has been a path you have aimed at,
for a long time.
and then for a long time.
Um,
And I expected it one day that it would be so. I would thought that Rogrim would get there before you, but
thanks for the vote of confidence. Um,
no, I just thought that he was closer to it at the time, and you kind of waffled when it was first presented to
We
you.
don't know what happened to
I did, yeah.
Ralgrim. He could quite honestly have continued to follow that path. So don't count him out.
Yeah.
He may already be in the ascension path. We haven't talked to him, so we
Yes.
can't know.
all right, yeah, Miri, but my point is, I'm going to need someone to look after the 5,000 men and women.
I will take charge of them, though if you, I think if we build the gate, I'll go back and get Sir Atherton, Sir, what's his name? The the dwarf, and he could help me.
Which dwarf? Zenith?
The Zenith,
Splinter Shield.
Splinter Shield, or
Hmm.
somebody with military experience. I don't mind standing as a figurehead, but I am not a military leader. But would certainly see to them. I was, I and my clerics will see to their wounds and their spiritual health, and I'll try a non-denominational approach. Uh, Most people don't have any problem with a life cleric.
I have my contract if you ever need it, and I guess I'll give Miri a tube of scrolls that are all like what they signed and stuff.
Right.
Okay, thank you. But actually, she is looking for a war leader. She doesn't.
Actually, Mary, you're a little bit skeptical because these guys keep talking about this pathway towards ascendancy, and yet they're still here. So maybe they're supposed to be working collectively to reach those locations. You know that what they were given did not have a rubber stamp of time.
Why don't we
So,
work together to
so
find each
physically,
of what?
yeah, physically, proximity wise, going north will take you eventually to uh, Concordia, for example.
Okay,
And then Dol Guldur is on the road south towards Chirkun. If you look at the map, you see both Dol Gulum and Chirkun are adjacent.
if we first go north to Concordia, that is where one of the first things is that you need to find.
The Trask, I believe.
No, she's
No,
referring to
to the hammer.
to the
Yeah,
devices.
Ah, okay.
and then we can as find out what's up there, and then turn around. If we need to deal with it, then you can turn around with her with Umara and help her find what she needs.
Okay,
Or we can all go if we've taken care of the north.
that makes sense.
Does that give
I
Umara,
think
enough timeline, Umara, or did you want to progress more swiftly?
That gives an a timeline.
Okay,
okay.
I thought it would help to give some kind of a spine of direction so we know what the next few steps are instead of kind of foundering from one step to the next. Does that make sense?
Very good.
Yeah.
absolutely. I think it's a good idea too. We have always been stronger together than apart.
Yeah, doesn't mean you won't have to face your individual challenge alone, but at least you'll be able to gather the information along the way. You can ask about and research the different pieces on the way so that we're not going in completely blind.
Yeah, but as soon as she can, for example, if we get to a pass in the mountains, she's going to build a gate there.
Okay, well, so the clarification was you've gotten permission to make it to the road. You've gotten the six chambers out of the earth and then destroyed the other 60. Did you want to
20, 32.
30? Yeah, 30. Yeah, 32.
There were 38.
Right.
Two looked like they had weapons in it.
Oh yeah.
And
Did you didn't save the ones with the weapons? I thought maybe you were going to save those as well.
Oh, we saved
I
one
would
of
have
those.
liked to.
All right. I'm recalling now. We said we saved one of those.
Okay, so it's 30. So 31 were destroyed, and 7 were saved. That makes 6. 6 plus 1 that was not 1. Gotcha. Oh, it works. Umara is now slapping herself on the forehead, but
Oh my god. All right. Everything's coming up 7.
all right. So the next question was, did you want to explore, since you're already here, the Emerald Ziggurat or not?
We can do a quick tour of it before heading off.
Is that an agreement from everybody else, or did you just want to mark it on the map and move on?
Didn't he retreat to inside there?
No, we have him out here. Click's out here with us.
No. The dragon. I thought he went into the ziggurat.
Nah, he moved out of the way of it. He's just somewhere in the shrubbery over there.
Yeah, the black dragon. Remember, he protects the area, and counted this as part of his terrain. But you guys got him to back off, and so he agreed to let you build the road through his territory as long as you.
She didn't like it, but it was expeditious.
Yeah, and I think you used magic on my dragon and made him agree. So.
Yeah, she did. She used the orb.
Yes, that's right. I had forgotten that. Thank you for reminding me that you used the orb. Yeah.
Yep.
So, who says Mary's not powerful? She just told a dragon where to go.
Yeah, but it was because of the orb. She couldn't have done that.
But nobody else would be carrying the orb.
No, because she attuned herself to it, and it's her burden, and it was beneficial.
All right. So I just need to know whether you're going to investigate the.
Yes, let's look at it because we don't know. This was once a civilization, I guess.
The structure parallels those. You haven't been to the other ziggurats, but you've heard that there is at least known to be a red ziggurat and a bronze ziggurat so far elsewhere in the world.
Well, yes, we've been to a ziggurat, but not a colored one. There was Wallace's ziggurat, and there was the other ziggurat. That was the bigger one where the children were gathered around the 4 corners doing something.
That was Wallace's. That was the same.
Well, there was 2 ziggurats. You said one was just to the side, smaller, and one was the other big one. And Wallace's was across the way because we had to cross to it.
That's the one I just called the bronze ziggurat. I just called it the bronze one. You don't know.
So
there was no real context for calling it that, but that's what it's called. On my map, that's what the map says. What the note says. So.
Okay, so we set off, and when we get to a pass where we can see clearly Concordia below.
Right, but you said you're going to go into the ziggurat.
We're going into the ziggurat now.
Okay.
Briefly.
So yeah,
we'll take some men-at-arms with us. The rest are posted outside.
Sure. It's the entryway is 20 feet wide at a height of 10 feet that slopes inward parallel to the floor. So you've got 10 feet of height coverage, which means you got pretty good range as far as lobbing things down the stairs if you need to. The staircase angles inside the ziggurat are actually exactly as steep as the ones outside. So for every 10 feet of descent, you're actually making 10 feet of distance into the ziggurat as well.
Okay.
So they're about.
She puts up a light.
Okay.
Because I'm a human, I don't.
The walls are covered with etchings, but the etchings are currently covered with all kinds of lichens and moss that basically have obliterated any possible significance of the emblems and symbols underneath them, even though you can see there are divots and places where the etchings are rather thick, rather deep into the stone. Unless you're going to take the time to cleanse them, it's just going to be basically like green moss and carpeting on the walls.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a historian. We were going to examine the place, figure out what it is, and then
So when you get to the floor, the passageway is surprisingly clear of debris. It has kind of a matte finish to it. It doesn't reflect the light precisely, but nonetheless, it's a smoothed image on the floor, and it shows three orbs separated by varying distances. So the first orb is there at the center of the floor at your feet. It's roughly 3 feet across. The next orb is about 8 feet away, etched in the ground, and is 100 inches across. And then beyond that, you see a third. It's not really fully an orb, but it's the curved edge of a third orb or sphere, and that's 68 feet away. So you just barely make the edge of that circle out. That circle's edge goes up against a wall, and that wall's image is what looks to be an octopus with a virtually infinite number of legs. The central body of the octopus is in the center of the image, and its legs splay out like a sun's array all around it, and yet
Yeah.
more tentacles writhe out from between those, and creates this they almost like feathers at a distance of these different limbs crisscrossing each other in a braid-like fashion outward from that center.
I am going to go to the first orb and I'm going to do a detect life. I'm going to
Okay, well, detect.
new spell. It's not a regular spell. It's like she is looking for life. Is there anything inside this thing?
Okay, so the orb, and I use the term orb perhaps incorrectly. It's a sphere cut. It's a circle cut into the ground, given definition by shading to look like an orb. It's not actually physically an orb.
Okay.
I realize I misspoke, but
Okay.
so matter of fact, that image that's behind me on the screen, it's kind of like that in reverse. You have a small circle like the sun's object over here, and then the second object is about like this big one behind me, and then finally the largest one looks like the one directly behind me.
Helios,
Yes, that's
Nimbus, and Nycos.
yes, only in reverse. So the littlest one is Nimbus. Is Nycos. And when you detect life, it will detect as living. As a matter of fact, the service will it'll move kind of the way the waves do on a pond, like the silvery material from which it's drawn is what's alive.
Hmm.
It says that it's life, but I don't know if it's mirroring life or it is life.
I'll ask the Yarlum that we captured.
Oh, you bring him
what
with
it
you?
is.
Or are you going back outside to talk to him?
Yeah, I'll go back outside.
Okay.
Felicitations,
Felicitations, Bob Dignag.
Thank you, Click. I went inside that place, your home, over there, and I found 3 circles on the ground
Okay.
that are alive.
Oh, only the first one's alive. And the big one. And the second one's alive too, but it's alive different.
All right. What do they do?
They are emblems to give you perspective.
On the celestial situation Nycos is in.
No, on the puzzle you need to solve.
Oh.
A puzzle. A puzzle?
What?
There's life in this one. And you say the next one is alive in a different way?
Oh, wait, so the small one is
The one that
the
I
first one.
detected life on.
The small one is 18 inches across.
All right. So there's a small one, there's a second bigger one, and then there's the biggest one.
The second biggest one is 100 inches across.
Okay. And then there's the final one, which is
And the third one's distance is trying to do the math, 140 inches across.
all right.
And yet we only have a fraction of this of what
Right.
it would be if it was a sphere.
Right.
So it's just
As a matter of fact, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
okay. I shall make an intelligence check.
Okay. So wait, the smaller one is quote unquote alive,
The smallest one is alive.
Okay.
and the second one is alive. The 100-inch one is alive, but in a different way.
Alive but different.
And the third one's not.
The
No,
third one gives life.
the third one is Nimbus.
No, the third one is Helios.
Helios. The biggest one is Helios?
Yes.
It's the brown or the white.
So it
dwarf?
gives life.
No. The dimmest one is the largest one.
Oh, the dimmest one is the largest one.
Okay.
Okay, just a moment. The first one,
This is astronomy for people that don't have any clue about how astronomy works.
okay. The small one, you said is Helios. No.
The smallest
The small one
is
is Nycos.
Nycos.
Nycos. It
Yeah.
is life. It is alive.
It is alive.
It is alive.
She marches out to the next one. It's large, but not as large as the other one. She said that she puts her hand on that one and detects life. It was life and it.
Detects life, but it doesn't. It feels wrong when you touch it. It feels not like life as you know it.
If it is
It's
Nimbus,
like you touch Nycos and it's warm and it feels like it gives back a little bit. You touch the next one out and it's cold and almost feels like it's trying to rip your hand off.
is that Nimbus?
That's Nimbus.
Okay. Helios.
And the life must be the dragons that are in the atmosphere.
Or something like that. Or it could be the magic the planet gives off.
And then you go to Helios. He says that Helios gives magic.
Yeah, that's right. Helios gives magic. And Helios is super dense. So,
And really large.
yes.
Is it a white star or a yellow?
It's like ours, standard star.
Ours is a white star now. Used to be when I went to school, it was a yellow, but they now know.
They changed classifications to suit their mathematical purposes.
Rest in peace, Superman.
Well, no, they've got a picture of it without unfiltered light, and it is a white star.
It's not. That's not how they measure white. They measure white by the temperature.
Okay. Well, then they got a good temperature reading.
Whatever.
Okay. I rolled a 15 plus. It's a check, not a save. So that's a +3, and I don't get proficiency, right?
Unless you've got a proficiency on skill. Don't think so.
No, I don't have it on intelligence.
So what'd you get?
I have a 18,
18.
15, and 3.
Okay. Well, with an 18, I'm trying to remember the math of it. Just a second. Let me pull up my little calculator here, and I can tell you the exact number. Okay. The alternate interior angle of where the wall meets the radius, I would say where the radius meets the wall, is 51.42 degrees.
Where the wall meets is point.
So let me see here if I can do
Four.
this.
When the radius meets the wall, so the tangent
Yes.
to the radius is the radius to the wall is a 51 degrees.
Yes. At the angle of
Sure.
at the angle of contact. Yes. I just wanted to see whether or not I had. There's not a. What's the word I'm looking for? There's not a version of a whiteboard I can put up here, is there?
Do you have like MS Paint on your computer?
Well, I've got other things, but I thought there was something right here in Zoom. Guess not. Okay, so let me go get something else for a second here, because I don't want to do all the high tech math. But imagine the segment of the curve where the curve meets the wall on both ends creates a radius and an arc. You see that? Not a radius, but an arc.
I'm trying to actually pattern it out.
Yeah. I have a piece of paper here. So
okay, let me pull
wall and circle.
Because if whatever the radius is, then the wall has to be. Okay, here's a circle. It has a radius. Center radius. So the wall. Oh, but then it would cut through the orb to get a 50. Otherwise, it would be at a 90.
Okay, just a second. I think I found out what I can do here. Yep. Okay. Put this
You can annotate on a document.
I know. Just a second. I'm trying to get us back to share screen. Okay. So you can see my screen now?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Need a circle.
It's a bad circle. Okay. That line there,
Yeah?
that portion, that the length of that portion is going to come out to be 51 degrees to the next tangent to finish the complete circle. So there are basically 7. I'm not going to do this right. Pretty close though. This interior angle
Is 1/7 of the.
is double the 51, so it's 102 degrees inside here.
Okay.
So 51 to the perpendicular, and that would be true of any equilateral any true circle. The interior arc divided into 360 is how many sides the image would be inside. So
yeah.
That represents 1/7 of the diameter of the circle.
Okay.
All right.
And that's 114 inches. Compared to the entire circle, that's about here.
She looks at the click. Click. Does this have something to do with the way the way Nimbus, Nycos, and Helios need to be or currently are?
Neither. It's to solve a puzzle. There you go. That's what it basically looks like. You got your initial spot, which is the tiny world. Then you got the secondary spot. And then the third spot, by occlusion, indicates that the size of Nimbus at distance is 1/7 the size of Helios.
Okay.
Which is visually almost the opposite, because in reality, if you saw Helios, it's going to be about that big.
Okay, so Helios's diameter in inches is 140, yeah?
Not diameter. The arc is 114.
Yeah, and the math on that is a little bit tricky. It has to do with trig and it has to do with geometry. Because if you only have an arc, to calculate the rest of the circle is a little difficult. My mother could do it. She taught me how to do it so I could build a flying saucer mathematically correct to the arc.
All right.
And I sat and watched her
But
do
if
it.
you listen to what Click told you, Click said it's not a measure of actual dimension, but the numbers you're going to need for a proportion in a puzzle later.
Okay, so she's going to measure between them.
And that's what I gave you. It's 18.
Yeah.
This is 18 inches across, and it's 6 feet to this.
Okay, just a moment.
This is 100 inches across, and it's 46 feet to the circle.
Okay, just a moment. I need to take that all down.
Okay.
The first one is 18 inches.
Nycos is 18 inches across, or
18
18 inches
inches.
from Nycos?
18 inches across, and then it's
The
6
next-
feet. 6 feet between these two, which is 60 inches. 60 times.
No, it's 72 inches.
Right. And then it's 144 inches across here, but it's 46 feet across here.
And it's 46 feet to the arc,
Yes.
to an arc that is 51 degrees.
And, yeah.
51 degrees. Okay. Oh, that was 46. It was 46 feet to the last arc?
Yep.
Okay, let me put this down.
All right.
Yes, so that means that at some point in the adventure, I will be able to call you guys the Raiders with the last arc.
Oh no. That hurt me.
Well, you can construct it and come up with a pretty close number. If you actually constructed an arc where you could draw a circle that touched both of them.
Yep. All right. So
Okay.
that's what it looks like on the floor.
Just a moment. This is 40. Damn it! My pen ran out of ink. Okay.
All right, I got all the information down.
Okay, and on the center of that wall, in the center of the octopus image wall, which is here, there is a pair of doors. There's an iron bar across them. What's kind of cool is that they were designed so that the etching on the iron cross members did not interfere with the picture from the staircase. So
Okay.
when you get
this
here,
question.
you can clearly see the distortion and see that bar, but from a distance it looked perfect.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
The line of the arc is how long?
The wall.
The line.
This line. This line.
The line of the arc. Yeah.
Yes, the tangent line here is 144 inches.
144 inches. And it's a 1/7 of the arc.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, please don't do this. 100. Oh, I can't get anything to work. Okay, let's try this. 144 inches. That doesn't work. I swear. That's the third pen I've thrown away.
Well, today's the day to just clear out the drawer pens. That's all that's for.
All I need to do is get down to 144.
Okay, so a metal bar.
I got the.
Yeah, I want it too, because I'll get it figured out so I know for sure. Thank you.
Helios' radius is 140 inches. Just to clarify.
144.
144. That I had 140 down.
And it's not radius; it's the tangent line.
It's the tangent of the 1/7 of the arc is 144 inches. But then you'd have to calculate the arc based on a circle.
The alternate interior angles. That's the fun part.
Oof, Umar.
Yep.
All right, what we doing? Are you going to go down and lift that bar, or are you going to go back up and you're done?
I'm gonna lift the bar from the iron door.
Okay. As you lift the iron bar, and it slides out of place, you hear a hissing sound like a pressure release. 3,
Okay.
2, 1. Make a Constitution save.
That's 19.
Okay, you clearly smell a poison gas in the air. You're the first one
Hold your breath.
You're the one that's closest. What do you do?
There's a poisonous gas, and then I'm gonna cover my mouth and nose.
Okay, so therefore the rest of you get advantage on your saving throws.
Okay. Okay, let me see what mine is.
DC is only 15, so.
He calls up a gust of wind.
But did you make your save first?
Yeah, I just have to figure out what my constitution. Constitution is +3. So I have 15.
Okay.
But she calls up a gust of wind to push it to the back, push it away from them.
Jackson, make your save.
Nine.
Okay, so Jackson hits the
Oh,
ground.
you get to roll twice.
Oh, yeah, you get to roll twice and take the better. Because he yelled gas, 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 basically.
Nat 20.
There you go.
That's the way to do it.
All right. You push the gas up and out. Unfortunately, it dissipates enough before it gets to you. The rest of your crew outside, nobody else gets hurt. Whatever the pressurization that was released, the floor seems to have sunk about 1/4 of an inch, and there is an oozy kind of cream-colored liquid pouring in from around the seams all the way around the room.
I think we should depart.
All right, I'll put the bar back. I'll come back to the cigarette later and maybe solve this puzzle.
Okay.
I think the problem will present itself later, but this gave us the information.
Okay. Also note that the amount of time that it takes for you to put the bar back is enough for the oozy, creamy-filled liquid to fill all of the seams, the curves on the ground and everything to be flush with the ground.
So the 3 are full.
Yes.
So it's covering it up.
Yeah. It's filling in those circles.
All right. Let us depart.
All right.
Alrighty.
We will leave. In fact, we've immediately headed for Concordia. I don't know. Godspeed to us, I guess.
Okay, just sorry I had to take something else here. Alright, now why can't I get that to go back to full size? Oh, I know. Stop the share. Alright. And that's why I didn't see the chat, so I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Way to go, Mara. That's a good one.
Oh, come on. Now I have to read the chat.
That's
or was
very
it
funny.
private?
Oh, no, it's not private.
Chat.
She says this.
Boy.
Alrighty, so you come back up and out. Not the worse for wear. They asked you what the hell that smell was.
Mary let a big one rip.
They all look at the old woman. Mary, I can't believe you.
No. Many things are different about my appearance, but only my appearance.
Not your aroma.
No.
Constitution.
But you know, Torg, Lord Cord of Cord, does take many opportunities to enhance the story.
Nice.
It was a poison cloud that apparently was in a trap that was in there.
Got you. Got you. Well, I'm glad you're safe. We're now prepared for the march. Are we heading
We're, go-
home as we suggested? Are we heading farther north?
we're
Are we?
going north.
Um,
It is our feeling that the war that is supposed to be up there has not been fought here. That something else is to the north.
All right.
we're going to Concordia.
Wow. Okay. Sure. We got to make it through the Dragonbone Pass first, but yeah, we'll definitely work on that. So, go ahead and roll percentage dice for me 3 different times. So each one of you can roll once.
Ooh,
I got a
Any,
39.
any 3 of you.
okay. I will roll. My first one is an 89.
Second one, Cord.
26.
Amara,
What's the roll?
percentage.
All right, I'll get that out. Sorry.
Okay.
I was eating.
Okay. No worries. No worries. For the first part of the day, you basically find the similar circumstance come from the other side. You find 38 more of those chambers on the opposite side of the ziggurat, also buried in the same fashion.
How have they been disturbed yet? Are they melting?
They are all empty. The silvery stuff seems to have not been interfered with. It's as if whatever took the chambers out found a way to do so without interfering with the waxy material itself.
I rolled a 15. That is either amazing or god awful.
Right. So we got an 18 and a 15. So the afternoon is going to be really exciting. But more importantly, there are wagon tracks leading from here heading due east. I'm sorry, due west. And the wagon tracks are broad and wide and are reminiscent of dwarf construction wagons, not of human construction wagons. You can't think of any dwarf cultures this far north that would be interested in extra planar creature types, but nonetheless, the evidence is that they were dwarven wagons.
Doesn't mean they're dwarves in them, but it just means they were made by dwarves.
Right.
Is that important? Do we follow them? But that takes us away from where we're going.
A, it takes you away from where you're going. B, it was at some time in the past, probably more than a month ago. The kudzu growing up over did pretty much re-hide it. So, based at the growth of 1 to 2 inches per month, it hasn't been much more than a month since they were taken out of here.
Okay. Well, no, we'll go north. If they're a month gone, there's no reason to chase them or try to chase them.
All right.
In this, she feels it is right to go north.
Right. As you go north, you kind of were hoping against hope there'd actually be more of that paved road on beyond it, but there is not. It goes back to the jungle floor.
And then we go back to building a road.
Right. So we're continuing to press on building the road of the Cords North Road. I guess we haven't come up with a formal name for it yet, but we're still building the road northward.
Oh.
And about 4 in the afternoon, your tree cutters run into a bit of a problem. It seems that their axes don't seem to be able to cut into the trees here. There's a change in the tree structure. The trees look much more old, more gnarled and not knotted up, like tangled and twisted back on themselves in almost contorted ways. These don't look like natural formations of trees. Furthermore, the axe blades are very much dulled when striking the
Okay, we can cut the trees from behind us, bring them forward, and lay them.
No, but the issue is that cutting forward into the trees is almost impossible to go any further north.
Umara, would you like to try to persuade the trees to move out of the way?
Sure.
You have speak with plants?
Um, let me look. Not for another level.
All right. If we cannot break the
Or
trees,
another 2 levels.
Well, you can't.
then we will.
You can't chop them. So you have any other
All right. So
alternatives?
if we can't break the trees, we'll break the ground. I'm going to now switch over from trying to hack the trees down to lashing them and using a lot of men and women to pull them down.
Actually, well done. As you pull on the tree structure, you find that despite the trees intertwining above ground, when you pull at them, each individual root structure is very weak.
Right.
After the third one, however, when you break it open, there is a cry of a child in the base of the wood.
Excuse me?
Literally, as you're breaking the branches, there's this horrible snap, and then the cry of a child, and literally in a bowl of the tree, almost like a little manger-like scene, is this tiny, naked infant in fetal position, crying.
Hey, does someone who knows anything about nature want to get on that and make sure I haven't just committed infanticide?
No, if it's crying, it's alive. Miri goes forward.
Okay, so the first thing you realize is that although these trees are contorted and stuff, they are of the willow families.
A dryad tree, a naiad tree, one of those.
Right, and when this pulled free, it basically releases an infant, a little girl.
Okay, she scoops up the child and how really infant, like
Like yeah, literally you just took it's like from the womb. It's
newborn.
it's in well actually the tree was performing the duties of a placental sac. So when the tree broke, the water broke, and you basically lift the baby out of the placenta.
This is gonna cause a few problems. We'll have
Almost
to.
almost immediately you will hear drums in the trees. And it's not so much the drums; somebody's actually beating on the trees themselves, and in places they're hollow. So you've got this musical quality to a polyphonic drum sequencing coming from the trees themselves.
Okay.
All right, everyone.
Gathering your thoughts and your selves together, the from among the trees, seeming to actually walk literally out of the tree trunks and stumps themselves, are a diminutive race. They might be 3 feet tall at the most. They have broad foreheads, large, slightly almond-shaped eyes, ruddy cheeks with what looks like war paint in white and red on their cheeks, and dressed in almost completely foliage, different kinds of leaves and such, covering not only their strategic parts of their body, but the majority of their flesh is covered by these leaves and such. Their hands and feet, however, are completely bare, and they are carrying a small spear thrower called Natlatl in their hand, which also can act as a war club just by turning it backwards, and little tiny wooden shields. On their belt are little tiny tiny spear shafts. They're maybe 18 inches long, but they're not arrows. They don't have fletching. Instead, it's just sticks with a heavier head.
Let me try to calm this situation down.
Okay.
Uh,
I would like to cast Summon Bestial Spirit.
Okay.
It takes 1 action, and I choose land, and it will take the form of a squirrel.
Okay.
It rests on my other shoulder. Or better, it rests on Fiver's shoulder.
Okay.
okay.
So you're walking forward with that little baby. The greenish bodily fluid is pouring over the outside of your hands as you approach them.
Okay.
They wait for
May
you.
the, yeah, may the peace of Veritas be on you all. This babe was we found in a tree. We are building a road to the north. When the babe came out of the tree,
Okay, quick,
as we
quick out of character. What was the dragon's name?
Let me get. It was I couldn't even remember it last week.
Yeah, I can't remember on the top of my head either.
It was Nerisian.
Yes,
That's
that
right,
sounds.
Nevisian. That's right. Did not the guardian Nerisian warn you to not build roads through here?
Yes, he did warn us.
we understand he just didn't want people through here.
And he told you he was protecting his own.
Yes.
Yes.
We are his own.
Okay, so these trees are your
Homes.
wombs.
Do you wish a road to pass? What can you offer the people of Hisson?
um. Oh, first off, my name is Cord
Cord.
Brobdingnag. And what we can offer you is not building a road through your home.
We can take it around if necessary.
Um, or if you have another alternative, I'm willing to hear it.
Promise me your firstborn, and I will grant you this road.
Excuse me?
Grant me your firstborn.
Um,
No, Cord. You don't. We don't know these people. They might be as honest as the day is blue, but
We
you
will
have.
we will not only offer you the accessibility of your road, we will even maintain it for you if you but offer us your firstborn.
what is that conversation going to look like with my Hey, son, guess what? I gave you up for a road.
Oh,
You're welcome.
no, we'll want him when he is born.
Uh, uh,
Oh, explain that to your wife, Cord.
yeah.
Are you not a
Just
Brobdingnag? Are you not a king? Are you not a Torg?
I am all of those things, yes,
Then you
but
need answer to no one. It has been done
yes.
this way throughout history. I might give names that you wouldn't understand, but Uther Pendragon made the same offer. And
oh,
all he got was a sword. I'm giving you a road and destiny.
huh. Well, I can't say I know any King Arthurs, but I will. I don't know.
If you look at it from the standpoint that Uther did, he wasn't even married. He didn't have any kids, so it was easy to say, "Sure, you can have my firstborn," because he thought it would never happen.
I I, I don't think Cord thinks it's going to happen either.
Right? So it's easy to say.
Well,
Easy.
that ship's already sailed for Umara.
Yeah, exactly. She got to live a whole
Um,
life before, so she knows.
Yep.
And you wouldn't have given up that child for anything.
this goes against my whole ideals about free choice to all beings.
Yes,
Um,
yes, but arguably, is an infant still in the womb even a child?
Is this child not a child and one of yours?
In your hands, it is not.
Okay. Then
all
who
right.
will take it? Because I offer
That's
it
the reason
freely.
why. That's the reason why I'm suggesting you offer your firstborn, because you've already taken your first life here.
I'm ready to. I took it because I didn't want it to die
Right,
in the
but
tree.
right, but laying your hands upon it and lifting it away from the trees. Trees are such that they actually kind of the guy actually stops and says, "I'm sorry. I will pity you more when you realize what you've done."
You're right. I
Okay,
don't know. Why don't you tell me?
I won't have to. Simply wait until sunset.
may you answer this question. What will you do with my firstborn?
They will become that which they should have always been, a child of the forest.
Do you
Um,
realize what he is? He's a Goliath. He's a Goliath,
Yes, a
a
child.
rock brother.
He's a child of the stone. I'm offering him a chance for his child to be a child of the earth. I suggest in the meta chord, you think really hard about what was just told to you a few moments ago.
that um, child of the earth, giving my newborn a chance to become.
Yeah, back up further than that.
Oh,
Back up to when you were talking to a wild-haired wizard.
oh, aha!
You say, aha. He goes, what?
Oh yes. I would like one stipulation to our little agreement, though, if I may. I would like our agreement to state if I have a newborn.
I would prefer to stay with the when.
You have tied my hands.
Uh,
And you have murdered one of ours.
Murdered, it is yet alive.
Mary, can you res it, please?
What?
Can you resurrect it?
Yes.
Do it!
It's not dead.
Um,
It's alive still, isn't it?
Well, as you're sitting there watching it, it's wasting away in your hands. Matter of fact, it's turning somewhat plant-like, and the eldrin around you, the other little eldrin, are pointing at the ground, like you should put it down.
Mary, resurrect it quickly.
I can't resurrect it unless it's gone.
Okay, well.
Well, okay, I can resurrect it, but not while it's living.
Put it on the ground then.
Will it have a chance to live again? If not, I can resurrect it.
You will understand once you have seen.
She lays the child down.
Okay. Almost immediately, the child starts to transmorph and becomes plant-like and becomes the most beautiful flower that you have ever seen. This unique, specific flower is not possible to be seen in any other way. And while you're looking at this flower, your heart is hurting just from its beauty. And the elder that's been speaking with you whispers, and upon midnight she will cease to exist, because that which was born in and of the forest was never meant to leave. Leave. And she's taken.
Oh. Oh.
Tears well up in her eyes.
You know about the elf Lord will turn and look at you, Mary, and say, "You know what great and tragic loss this is, and for this I will offer you a blessing." And he puts his hand upon you and says, "You will have 4 children, one of which you have just lost, but you will have 3 others."
What?
She's having difficulty processing right now.
Yeah, you should be. That's
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she took her hands and did what a healer should do, but she honestly didn't know what she was doing, and so she she's sacrificing, if you will, one of her own children by accidentally killing this one. Now, we can mitigate that loss, Cord, if you will make the agreement.
For Mary's sake, I agree to give up my firstborn to you, whoever you are. Yes, I'll give up my firstborn son. Yes, or firstborn, not son.
No, it doesn't have to be a son. It could be a daughter. We'd be pleased.
Yeah,
with
I know.
But by making that offer, you have fulfilled two objectives today. One is you have redeemed Miri's dream, and you've also achieved one of the four if you look at your list.
Oh shit!
Sacrifice. Right?
Sacrifice was not one of them, but
Sacrifice is one of them.
what?
Yeah, I think it's the emotional one.
It is the emotional.
Oh, emotional.
Sacrifice that which is very precious to you.
His child will be fine with you.
Yes. He will be blessed among, as I said, he will be blessed among the Goliath, for he will not only be a child of stone, but a child of earth.
Then
All right.
let us pray for him to find greatness in the world to come.
And as you do that, the elf looks back towards the gnarled forest, and he basically puts a staff against the earth and makes a beeline straight through the forest for as far as you can see. Your road building will be much easier now.
I'm so sorry, but
it is the way of life. Give and take. We bind together even as we tear apart. Great losses lead to great successes. We could pontificate all day, but the reality is Cord needs to learn what it is to lose. You've already learned what it is to give, so you shouldn't have to give anymore, Mary of Elwyn.
I might have to give, but I hope eventually to receive, for my God is great. Life is everything, in many forms.
And they also will turn to Miri, and as she walks through, for some reason, the entire Eldrin population here, these tiny elves, feel almost compelled to try to touch her in some way. Either touch her clothes, or her arm. Some of them are.
Umara?
Yes.
They're touching you.
No.
No, they're touching you.
Oh.
Miri. Not Umara.
Because they recognize the sacrifice that you were willing to make, even though you didn't even know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Your rashness would have cost you even more dearly, but Cord redeemed you, and so they now realize how much you've already lost.
Hmm?
All right. So
yeah, she lost a life that was in her hands.
Oh.
You know, nothing she ever hoped to have happen. You know, but.
All right. So you haven't gone very far from that because we rolled 2 critical rolls. So that was the first one, Cord. That was thanks to your 18. You don't get far past that. You're actually seeming to be in the clear on the roadway, working your way, building the road, like you said, pulling the trees from further back, which is slowing you a little, but not much. When Umara comes across an animal totem of warning.
All right. Is it an actual animal, or is it a
Okay, so totems of warning are used by barbarian tribes to indicate different things. Go ahead and make a wisdom check to see if you can decode this totem.
Sure. Let me go ahead and.
DC will be 14.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Way back.
I see that now. Looking at my stats. Just a save throw?
No, it's a check. Wisdom check.
A wisdom check? What kind of check?
DC 14 wisdom check.
Yes, there's skills. What skill?
Oh, it could be if you've got uh, insight or perception.
Oh, perception. Okay, that was very nice. That's a 25.
Okay, it's a marking of territory suggesting that you're entering an area of a tribe's vision quest.
I would like to, wait, a vision quest?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm exactly where I need to be.
Let them know that. And so she turns back and says, "This is right where I'm supposed to be."
Yep.
Okay, we will wait for you until you are done with what you need to do. Again, you go with my blessing. And
I
she
swear.
lays hands on you. Yeah, she lays hands on you
Okay.
and
So she will be gone for roughly 6 hours.
Okay.
Before.
I will take Kenny Jr. with me.
Okay. He's got to be sworn to silence.
He's mute right now, so.
Oh, I'm back.
Alright.
oh, hello,
Alma.
Kitty.
All right. So the way this is going to work, you get to look at your stats, decide which order you're going to roll them in: strength, intelligence, wisdom, dex, con, charisma. You're going to be rolling saves against each one of those. If you have a proficiency that modifies it, cool. It's not based on skill. This is just basically you're opening your heart and mind as you're walking through the forest to see what signs that will be given you. On any roll less than a 5, let me know. On any roll more than a 20, let me know. But roll for each of your stats in whatever order you want to do them in, and just tell me which one you're rolling and then roll it. So you might go right down the order of strength, dex, con, or you could go strength, intelligence, wisdom, or you could go whatever order you want.
I'm gonna start with charisma, work my way up.
All right. So charisma DC is these are all going to be DC 12.
Right.
But I need on a particular.
I rolled a 5 on the die, that's a 4.
Alrighty. So the 5 on the die on the 4. The first thing that you see in your little quest here is you come across Cord. His heart is ripped out and is laying on his chest.
It's just a vision, it's just a vision, it's just a vision. Keep moving forward.
You see him actually trying to put his heart back inside, and each time he tries to push the heart back inside, it jumps back out of his chest. So it's rather just appalling.
That's not normal, that's not normal, that's not normal.
Next stat will be
That's gonna be wisdom, and that's a natural 20, so 22.
Wisdom 22. Oh my god, natural 20. So therefore, there's a woman with curly blonde hair, a rather large bow, an ample bosom. As a matter of fact, her bow is recurved out of a beautiful, what color? A purple?
Yes, purple.
Purple prismatic stone.
Yes.
And she goes, "Well, we get to meet again. Your fate and your destiny definitely lies strongly down this path, doesn't it?"
Seems to be.
Anybody, you don't recognize her. That's what I'm saying.
I'm aware. I'm just,
Yeah.
I have a questioning look on my face.
Right. So
But I still say seems to be.
She goes, well, good. I'm glad you're going on this vision quest thing. You can ask a question in the past, present, or future. Which one do you want to ask first? In reference to the visions.
Past, present, or future. The future.
Oh, okay. There's going to be one vision that you can't help but believe.
Okay. The past.
Cord isn't as tough as he makes himself out to be.
I knew that.
Well, now you've seen it. He literally wears his heart out on his sleeve.
All right,
All right, on his
so
chest.
Wow.
future
Now,
was
past.
wait. No, hold on. Future was one vision that I have to believe.
Yeah.
One vision you're obviously going to have to believe. You have no choice but to believe, is what I said.
Past was horizontal.
He's not as tough as he puts himself out to be.
And present.
You're not going to like this part, she says. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
No.
I told you wouldn't like it.
Hi, big cat. What do you want?
Next stat.
All right, so that's 3. Next step.
What's your next stat?
Oh, sorry. My next stat is my favorite, intelligence.
Yay.
-1. Let's do this. That's a 2. That's a
Awesome.
3 minus 1.
Yay. That's awesome.
I'm in a wizard schooling.
You see,
doing arithmetic.
you see Miri at the end of a fourth of a row of tiny crosses, tiny tombstones, I should say, not necessarily crosses.
Sure. And I'm aware that this is Vision Quest.
Mm-hmm. So you're still saying not real, not real, not real as you go by.
Yeah, yep. Just vision, just vision, just vision. Next is, okay, a Constitution. This is a +10.
Ooh.
18.
That means you rolled pretty bad, but that +10 helped, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, you are seated on a horseback. You feel to the left and the right of you what must be hundreds of horse to the left and right. Cavalry armed with horseman's bow, the daikyu. And you hear a whistle and piping sound, and something from your nightmare pours over the wall in front of you as tens of thousands of grass spiders and the black widows come over the wall from Chantroa.
Lovely. And I have to keep moving forward.
Yep.
That's next is dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too shabby. 13. Just barely.
Yep.
12 + 1.
Yep. But it's not high enough to actually get a vision, so you're good because it's got to be the 5s or the 20s. So you don't actually get any, so that's good. Go on to the next one.
That's my best stat. Strength.
Here we go.
That's +11. 25.
Oh, definitely. All right. So in this one, you are looking up through blood-clotted eyes at something above you, and it's a long-haired, swarthy-built Native American warrior type. Looks like he might have some Leonin features, so he might be a quarter secgen or something like that. So he's got a broader, narrow, broader nose, but very flat to his face. But it looks like he might have fangs, and his hair is braided, and he's above you, and you can feel him tugging your hair as he brings you to your feet. He says, "You're not so bad for a girl."
Oh, like I haven't heard that one already.
And you guys hear her say that as she comes walking back in. Like, I haven't heard that already.
Oh, someone else beating another one of your dead horses, Umara.
Heard what, Umara?
On the just vision saying, "Oh, you're not bad for a girl."
That's not very nice.
It's with the territory.
So how'd it go?
I'm alive, so
All right, 10 out of 10.
I'm like awkwardly not looking at either of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
from your standpoint, it feels like she feels pain when she looks at you. It's this, it's like
She's discomforted.
yes, like she knows something about you that she doesn't want to know. That kind of like a sorrowful look as she looks away.
okie dokie then. I probably don't want to know.
And with
Moving along.
Also with that animal totem there, your rest of your army isn't going to want to move on until the light of day when they can expect Miri to have blessed the pathway again. They're not going to.
Also, after the first hour, my spirit has withered away.
Yes. So, you basically camp out there next to that animal totem, which makes it for a rather difficult night for you guys to sleep. So you guys are going to be actually operating at fatigue level 1 for the most of tomorrow, even though the pathway is smoother and straight. Nonetheless, the creepiness of that emblem has kind of spooked them.
So we get disadvantage on ability checks.
Yes. So it's a little tougher slog. So for the next day, I need percentage dice rolls from all of you.
I would have sung that night.
Solid or
It's
disadvantage?
very soft and soothing when I notice it. Not that she's a bard, but she has,
No, I got you. That's fine.
the sheep song that kind of,
Yep.
sings the animals to sleep.
Yes. Something along the lines of, "This is the song that never ends." No, just kidding.
Jesus.
It's a
I got
tune.
a 10.
10. Okay, so what'd you get, Amara?
17.
On a percentage?
Yeah.
Wow. And what'd you get, Mary?
I haven't rolled it yet. Give me
Okay.
a moment.
No problem.
It's a two-step process. 34.
Alrighty. So the first thing in the morning is that you notice that somebody during the night has pulled down the animal totem. There are footprints in the area that suggest goblin, but there's no way goblins would have gotten this close, you don't think, without setting off some kind of an alarm, some kind of defense. You think your guards would have seen them. But there's...
Or the wizards would have put up.
Right. So something weird's going on. And so...
Shiver runs down my spine.
Right. And also your guards are going to be on double alert watching for trouble. And about an hour down the roadway, you'll find a little envelope tied to one of the branches. It's in a bright blue lacework envelope.
Of course it is. There's someone who reads better like to do this for me.
I'll read it for you. No problem.
Yeah.
It's written to the Dawn Guard.
That's weird.
Yes.
Okay.
Flip it open.
Yeah, I open it up.
Future leadership of Nycos. You are cordially invited to a feast in your honor, courtesy of Atherton Ving et al., representative of the Mask of Serpents.
His name, I punched like the near solid object near me.
Piss off another tree. Good job.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You hit cord. That's good.
I mean, you are a rock.
She spins around to hit something hard, and she goes, tree or cord? I'll hit cord.
All right, we're invited.
You
We're
are invited. Cordially.
Who are these people?
well,
Atherton
who are these
Wing.
people? Asserton, he's inviting us.
I don't know if I know this Atherton.
Yes, I've told everybody about Atherton Wing, the goblin that
He is actually one of the only truly true villains in my world. He's actually a rapist caught in the act. And he escaped. And he's escaped twice. Once by dominating Umara and making her dance a samba.
the halfling child that I've used the name for my child. Oh wait, no, I don't say that
No,
because
you don't want to give it away, right?
Yeah.
Do we have
You don't want to go.
Literally.
have one of the engines? We don't have the Alacaster. Do we have the other engine though?
I thought so.
Yeah, I know.
I would think we had the small one.
But I can't remember what its abilities were. Which one was it?
It was just 3 pieces.
We had all 4 parts, but
well-
we took 2 parts off.
Right. But you knew the Alacaster was an engine by itself, and then you noted that the other pieces made something, but I can't remember what it made.
Oh no, we don't have the Alacaster. We just have the.
No, I know
3
you don't. I know you don't have the Alacaster.
We have all 4 of the pieces. That makes a full.
Right, but when you put them together in any composition, they make an item, make a weapon.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the weapon was.
Nor I.
So we'll just make it a sword. Easy enough.
All right. Yeah. Is there a way we can disband magic with this engine? Break it up.
Yeah,
Probably reversed.
pretty much.
Right. Well, why don't Umara, you take this to Atherton and you destroy him?
We're not sending.
Atherton's not a
anywhere.
thing. Atherton's a him.
Oh no, he's a thing.
You're not granting him personhood. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't know, or just totally ignore him because we don't want to deal with it.
Because we know he's magic, right? He's literally magic.
What's that?
Atherton is magic,
He's a blend.
but he's the investiture of living magic. I forget what its name was. But it talked to us about how we actually create sustainable magical weapons. It told us,
Okay, no, that was when the Daemonarch took a form of Atherton to piss you off. No, Atherton is not made of this stuff.
oh,
Atherton is still just a goblin.
well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Atherton would not invite 3 very powerful beings to a banquet if he didn't have some sort of countermeasure that would, prevent us from squishing the life out of his pathetic carcass, or at least one of us.
I agree. We just don't deal with it.
So every single nuance of this screams trap or him trying to get us in a position of power. Atherton, if you can hear me, we'll meet you.
Go ahead,
But
Sean.
on our terms. If you want to come out and speak with us, do it here in the open. We're not coming to you. No? All right. Well, I say we ignore it.
Okay, let's keep on moving. And I would suggest an afternoon break that's a little longer than usual, so the men can recoup in a better frame of mind.
I agree. See, Emir, you're doing good with an army. You'll be a fine commander.
I'm just paying attention to the condition of the men. Actually, Umara is probably a much better commander than I am.
But she's going to be becoming a god.
Yes. That I
So
do.
you shouted that you'd meet him on the field of battle, but you wouldn't come to him.
No, he can come to us if he wants to talk. I'm not going to him on his terms.
Alrighty.
We continue on.
Yep. You march a little bit further, and you see 4 goblins standing in the hedge, standing across the fresh soil because the hedge moved out of your way, as you remember.
We did a long rest, correct?
Yes. You're all
I summon my
spirit thing again.
companion again. Yes.
Yes.
All right, I'll call for a halt, and then the 3 of us will go out and meet with these 4 goblins.
Well, as you approach the goblins, they scurry away, and in the background you hear a melody begin on flutes.
Cover your ears.
Cover your ears.
All
Tell
right,
the men to too.
all right, I'll give the orders to cover.
We
the
we
ears.
have a bard with us, don't we? Counter song.
No, we don't.
Okay, then she starts singing
Okay, I'm gonna tell my men to.
loudly.
I'm gonna tell
Loudly.
my men to. I'm gonna give the flag signal for battle cry, so they start yelling.
Okay. The musical tenor is kind of peaceful. It's matter of fact, if you guys know the song "Peace Like a River," that's basically what it's playing.
I've got peace like a river
That's the one.
in my soul.
Yep.
All right, nice. Okay.
So as they're singing, they've withdrawn a little bit, and they're motioning for you to follow them.
No. No.
Well, I
No.
mean,
This is Atherton. We press on.
Nope.
You
Press
can't
on.
press on.
Loud,
They're standing
we
in the
go.
roadway.
Yeah.
I did tell them I would meet them. You guys don't have to. I can go out and meet.
No. They're trying to beguile you with that song.
I'm gonna take some dirt off the ground, spit into it, and work it around until it's an earplug, and then I'm gonna put 2 of them in my ears.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
and,
gonna druid craft something similar to put in my ears.
Sure.
And then I'm going to walk forward cautiously.
And I do the same for Fiverr and my. Well, I don't think my spirit needs to.
She
All right.
starts a ritual prayer
Okay.
loudly.
Okay. As you're approaching, the goblins back up a little bit further, and now you see that you're flanked to the left and right with 4 more on each side. So it's a total
No.
of 12 goblins.
No.
Okay.
No. Not that.
They're just goblins.
Mary's shaking her shoulders. Very, 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 very profoundly in the negative. Like she doesn't want to go any further.
She takes a gust of wind and blows them away.
The goblins?
Pick one side, left, right, or straight ahead. You can't get them all.
Wow.
Straight ahead over the
Okay.
first set.
Those 4 go bowling head over heels. They kind of are laughing as they go. The song is continuing and the volume is increasing. You can almost
sings
feel it
louder.
on the ground. That's right. That's fine. But you force them back another 15 feet or so, and as they do, they motion for you to continue following them.
No, Cord. No.
Atherton, whoever your leader is, come out and face us here. I'm not going to continue forward.
She takes another gust of wind and throws it the other direction.
Okay, so you're blowing it through the trees and whatever on the left side or right side, one or the other.
Right side.
Okay.
I'm going to stop moving forward.
Okay. All told, there's probably 24 goblins you can now see, and one of them steps out in a. Did you ever see the Blue Boy painting?
Yes.
The dapper young
The
man in
blues-
the blue coat, all the way up to his collar and
Oh, he's
puffy
got blue
sleeves.
pants, blue coat.
Yep, blue hat,
You know, like yeah,
laced
the
up
blue
shoes.
boy.
Yep. He steps.
Beautiful blue satin.
He steps out, his hideous goblin forms marring the image quite considerably. The clothing is soiled and dirty because they don't really take that much good care of their stuff anyway. And there's some blood spattered on the front where clearly it looks like he must have either strangled something with his bare hand or had a bloody knife and then he wiped it off on his own chest. He steps out, looks at you all, motions for the music to stop.
All right, I'll take out my.
His lips move. You can't understand a word he's saying because you
Yeah,
have
I'll
your ears plugged.
take out my earplugs, I guess.
I take out one.
He goes, "Hey, Umara, One Ear, you're so beautiful. As beautiful as the last time we danced."
I put it back on.
You Atherton?
I am Atherton Ving. I am the leader of this motley crew, and I'm responsible for bringing you to the peace that passes understanding.
He
So now-
continues her prayer, the prayer against evil.
Okay.
Listen, Atherton. I don't know why you want to see us, so speak your piece quick.
Well, I figured it would be a professional courtesy, as you've done. You have endeavored to march north for quite some time now, and I applaud that action. You are a man of action, as am I. I don't like waiting around, and it's only taken me about 2 iterations to get to where I need to be, and I'm so glad that you've been able to keep up with me.
You talking to me?
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Well, yes.
Okay, you know what? Um,
How much of the land do you wish to secede to my people to protect the Hell Vault and the environs around Florin?
None.
Oh, the Green Witch has spoken. No offense, but you look like shit.
Yes.
Atherton.
Look, this isn't everything.
That's true. Smell works a lot better.
Atherton,
Yeah.
may I ask how many Blinn you have up north that would threaten my Hellbolt?
Well, let's put it this way. The Blinn are as the sands of the sea, and the Unblinn are 3 times their number.
Does the number 300,000 work? Just as a
He kind of looks at you kind of funny and goes, that's an oddly precise number to estimate.
I'm just does it work?
Actually, we don't have censuses, so I'm really not sure. As I said, I know that my Blinn are outnumbered by twice over by the Unblinn.
What are Unblin?
Oh, those are my newest additions. They are accompanying me from the second.
This is our problem.
Aha. Well,
You say, aha!
North meet east, east meet north. How do you do?
6,000 versus 300,000 sounds like a fair fight.
Actually, it's 5,000. Warp.
No, because you got
how your species
you got
is
Umara's 1,500 too, at this point.
But,
You're back to 6,500.
Of men or?
But seeing as how your species is 1/46 that of ours, I think I'm liking our odds.
Well, that's good, but I've already made arrangements to secure the southern border of Cryopathia. I'm moving currently against Bergeron, and I'll be passing over the Silver Blades soon. So the sooner you come to a realization, the more likely I will be able to secure the area of the Hell Vault for you and yours.
For me and mine, that's great.
Well, sure. I have a personal qualm with the Children of the Stone. You guys are no threat to me. These mortals, these sympathizers with the others, they need to be done away with before they become.
If Umara could hear what was going on, she'd say it takes one to know one.
All right, Atherton. I'm going to be frankly honest with you. I have neither the resources nor the time to fight through 300,000 Blinn and non-Blinn.
Unblinn.
Unblinn. Right.
I bet they're undead. Is that what they are?
Let's just put it this way. They were a group of Blinn led through the iteration wall by a guy named Schrodinger.
The names mean nothing.
I know.
Okay.
It was a horribly bad joke. While they were in the storm, they were either Blinn or unblinn.
Oh. Okay. Atherton, unless you've come here to fight, I see no point to this conversation.
Oh, no, I'm just providing a professional courtesy to my love, my sweetheart, the one who I will once have. And he's looking at Umara. Of course, she can't hear him. She's such a good dancer. And he's staring her up and down in just a really obscene way.
I have never met you, and I honestly wished you had keep it that way until I understood more about you, so that I might have murdered you when I met you, if I'm being honest. But your reputation precedes you. May I make my statement here now about you and your person, just so we're clear on terms as individuals where we stand on each other? You are one of the most disgusting and irreputable beings I have ever had the displeasure of existing on the same dust ball of a planet with. And I will commit most, if not all, of my resources to eradicating you and everything you stand for over the course of my life. Do I make myself clear?
I got you. You're a great and terrible being. And like I said, I respect you as a person who takes what you want. You're my kind of guy.
I'm going to destroy you, Atherton.
But not till I get my last dance with Umara.
I don't care who destroys you, as long as you're destroyed.
The squirrel hops off my shoulder.
I have been fed horror stories about you for the past year and a half, and I'm sick of it.
Walks up to Atherton and punches him.
The squirrel does?
Squirrel does.
Nice. Punches him in the shoulder. Ow! What was that?
Sign of displeasure.
In fact, Court's just going to continue ranting about it in the background.
He goes, but I do have to warn you something, Cord, just so you know. When the Discord arrives, you will only have 60 seconds.
That's a 16 hit.
Oh, you hit him.
That's going to be 1 plus its strength, which is a 4. So that's a plus 5 damage.
Ow!
And then it scurries away and climbs back up to Umar's shoulder.
I will have 60 seconds to what?
Until you dance my tune. And there won't be a damn thing you can do about it. Anyone with ears, let them hear. He says, now I've given you the warning. I've shown my true nature. And you can let them know that it's upon the word of my Lord Lorathal that I will have my last dance.
Okay.
And he'll turn back and start walking towards the goblins. And he motions, and the music starts again.
She starts a real loud prayer again, ritual prayer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pat my 50 caliber and say, Umara, the only reason I didn't kill him where he stood is because the honor's yours, or the dishonor, whichever that is.
And she's gonna have to say what, because she's got her.
I point at my ear. I'm like, what?
I said, never mind.
I take one out.
We turn around and march back away.
Right, and as you march away, you'll hear music for exactly 55 seconds as they disappear, and then music stops.
Okay.
Soon as
He's given us warning. He says that after a minute, that music will somehow control us.
Okay.
So we need bards that can counterspell.
No, what we need...
Counter song.
We need a revolution. We need to start some sort of religious movement so we can build a defense against the North. We have found our enemy, and we can now turn the army back.
But they have an advantage right now.
Right.
And they showed us that advantage. And he told us as a warning that we had 60 seconds. Notice he played that for not quite a minute.
Miri, the way I see it now is there are 300,000 plus hostiles
So
in
we
the
need a
north.
bigger army, and we need wizards, and we need bards that can counter song.
It would be
Something that disturbs their song.
tantamount to suicide to march a force this
We
large.
just need somebody that can cast silence.
It would be
Look,
tantamount to
if they
suicide.
have groups of people spread all over, what
So-
are they going to do then? You'd have to find each group that's making a song and still them.
I am only going to continue with my army north until it is impossible to do so without being attacked by the enemy.
Look, do you want to be taken over?
What?
I don't think they're going to fight you fairly. You understand that song can compel you. It can dominate. And apparently that's what they're using.
Right. Music.
It would be foolish to walk into their territory when they have that advantage.
Which is why I'm going to send my army back down the path we made.
You can't pay 300,000.
And you're only now 1 day short of the crossroads. You're at the base of Dragonbone Pass.
Let's build an archway here.
So you want to finish the road to Dragonbone, so at least you have the road completed through the
Yep, at least that.
Okay, all right. That's actually fair. I'll take that risk.
Okay.
Cord,
What?
you have things to do to become a god.
We're going to Concordia to do that.
That's
So the way I see it
Yep.
is we're going to continue the path until we get to the crossroads. Then I'm going to send my army back home.
Okay, but
instructions
if
to-
they'll help me build the arch, I'll put.
With instructions to keep their ears plugged until they get far enough away that it's no longer a threat. And then the three of us are going to continue alone to Concordia.
Well,
Does that sound like
four
a-
if Jackson comes with you, but
Yeah, four, exactly.
Yeah.
Does that sound like actionable?
Then let's make better earplugs.
Does that sound like an actionable plan?
Yeah, and Umura can grow some beans that are the right size.
Yeah, shouldn't take too long.
Plug beans.
All right. If we're in agreement, then I would like to move as fast as we can so we can complete this road.
Okay. So
Before.
24 hours later, roll me 3 more times, guys.
Ooh, boy.
Okay. Percentage dice?
Yeah, percentage
Yes.
dice, once each.
55.
Safe.
57.
Safe.
60,
Roll percentage.
Yes. What'd you get, Umara?
19.
57.
19.
And
But
I-
good old Miri doesn't let me down. As you finish
Uh,
the road.
I
and
got
you-
81.
Good. As you finish the road and break out into the clearing, you see a small village, and you are heartened because it looks like a human village. And you approach closer, and there's a fair population combination between humans and sect gens, and you're thinking, oh, this is really kind of peaceful, until you realize that they themselves are playing the music. And they're waving to you and offering for you to come and have seats, but the music isn't stopping.
Yeah, we have to
Are you going to withdraw, or are you going to move forward?
withdraw.
Are we within sight of the four-way?
The only way is
Yeah,
to break.
you've made it to the edge of you've made it to the base of the mountain. So from here, you'd be crossing up through Dragonbone Pass, which
Back
is a
off,
new
and
road.
we'll make the archway a little bit further back down the road we made.
You have completed
Okay.
the road. The town here is known as Devon.
Okay, the town's name is Devon.
They're under the thrall of the goblins. Look at them.
And
They're playing that song.
They're playing that, playing different melodies, derivatives of that music. Yes, not only that, but they're playing on their own instruments and waving to each other. And you notice it's really very Stepford-like. In other words, everyone seems to greet each
Everybody
other with a
smile.
hug, and yes, exactly. There's
Just that
absolutely
certain smile, just no more, no less.
yes that knowing look between them that means they're sharing the experience.
The
Okay.
only other thing to do is break
Oh,
all their instruments and break them out of that.
all right. So I'm
Like,
gonna turn my army around with the speech, I guess. I don't have a speech prepared, so I'm just gonna roll charisma.
Sure.
I'm going to be sending Fiverr with them.
Okay, that's 13 for the speech. Basically, I'm gonna say that everyone did a great job making the pathway up. You
They
need to
will
go back.
be remembered throughout history for building the road of cord.
Yep. Oh yes. Your work matters.
Of course, now that you made it out of wood, it's now the road of cordwood. I mean, the wood of cord road. I mean, the road wood of cord.
Cordwood
Oh God.
Road. The Cordwood Road.
Okay, I'm gonna. They're gonna go back to Bridgeton and warn the East about what's happening up here. Is what they're gonna do.
And
Yeah.
sort of watch the passes.
And tell
Yeah.
them and with specific instructions, they need bards with counter song.
Wait.
Or they need something to break the song up.
Mara, I just had a thought. To get more followers, should I instruct my army to return and tell them that that we're us ascended soon, maybe soon to be ascended people,
Okay.
can save them, and then maybe we could get a following based on that.
Make a quick wisdom check.
Okay.
You can't claim ascendancy if you're not.
It's a nat 20.
Okay. So more to the point than that, the best way to tell people something that you don't want them to keep secret, swear them to secrecy. You tell your men, we just built a road in 6 days that they said couldn't be built. We crossed the Morn Glade. We made alliances with dragons. We gave succor to the elves. We've reconnected with the northern world, but don't tell anybody about it.
Oh yeah, with a group of 5,000, the chances of blabbermouths is almost a guarantee.
Well, it's natural too, but it's the part of this is taboo and I'm not supposed to tell you.
All
that
right.
makes everybody want to tell.
Okay, I write detailed instructions to be given to Sir Alex.
Alex Turfsival?
Yeah, Alex Turcival.
The last knight of Cauldron?
Yeah. I tell him that there is an army that could be as much as 300,000 Blinn, and probably
300,000. That's more people than there are in the world. 300,000. That's ridiculous.
Just a moment. And the majority of them are undead Blinn.
What? What kind of a hell is that? Oh, that's awful.
It's hell. They're using song to dominate the locals.
Oh yeah, we heard about that going all the way back to Umara and her dance nights.
Okay. The problem is they are having major numbers of people doing it so they can take over anybody that comes at them. We found a whole town of people that are under this dominating spell.
Were they harmed? Could you tell if they were harmed or injured in any way?
They are playing the goblin song.
But are they harmed? Are they hurt? Are they bleeding? Are they tortured?
No.
Tortured, yes.
How so?
They're dominated is the word you should use.
I use the word dominated. They have been magically dominated, which is a foul perversion.
Did you engage with them at all?
No, they tried to beckon us in, but we already knew that given a minute of listening to that song, you two will be dominated. Like Atherton told us, in 60 seconds you will be ours.
So a villain told you this and you believe it?
Yes.
That's the best lie, is to tell the truth.
That's true. All right, well, we'll watch out for those things. But we should be okay because we have a good complement of Eldrin, and Eldrin are immune to charm and sleep, right?
Interesting.
Yes, but I'm not Eldrin, and neither is Umara, as neither is Cord or Jackson.
But Miri was raised by elves, so she knows the elves are protected from it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think a point of order should be when we return from our little trip, we need to raise an army in the east to combat this, but that's for later. For now, onwards to Concordia.
Do I leave Fiverr or take him?
It's your choice.
I'm leaving Theo.
Then I'll leave Fiverr.
Okay. Because of the fact that they're your direct contacts, let's grant them sending stones so you can at least talk to them once a day.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Just limited. They're just literally one-use things. They're not full-on sending stones. But that way you can get
Sure.
an update on what's going on back in the city.
Fair.
It only
All
makes
right.
sense. You guys are powerful
And
enough and can make magic items anyway. So,
Well, we know how, anyways.
well, right. And even if you only have an engine when you're in town, you definitely are in town now. So,
Sure.
and that took you another 3 days. So it's been more than a week since you were in town last. So
Wait, where are we?
you're back in Florin because you came back.
Yeah, I built a gate where you can just walk through the gate.
All right, okay.
Florin or all the way back to Bridgeton, because I have the permanent gate in the temple.
That's true. So did you want
So
to go
they
all the way back?
Yeah, because it'll just be a step to turn around.
Yeah.
Are we gonna continue onwards to Concordia, however?
Sure. After you make all the arrangements you were just talking about making.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Do you want to take horses through with us this time?
I have a goat.
You have a goat.
Yeah.
Umara probably wants a horse,
I prefer a horse. I can be
Okay,
a horse.
but you also have your Marian, don't you? Still,
My Marian.
don't you? Didn't you have a Marian steed for a while?
Did I? Yes. Yes, I did. Scarlet
I wonder
O'Hara.
where Jace's Cush's Marian steeds are.
Cush's steed went with him into the Everdark in pursuit of hunting down his wife and all the technology she stole. Jace's horse, what did we name it? I can't remember what we named it. Treble Clef or something.
Something musical.
Oh,
If it's
that's
around-
right. That's right. No, Cush's horse might be here because his name was Mary Jane.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The mare named Mary Jane.
Okay, if it's here, I'd like to take it. And
Well, by this time they would have more than likely traded for one for you. So, what would you like to name your Marian steed? Realizing that they are semi-sentient and psychic, they actually can communicate with you verbally.
yeah, psychically.
Nah, yeah,
Oh.
but it's only verbal. It's actually just words. It's not a true psychic connection.
Okay, what color is it?
You pick. I don't care.
Okay, it's a chestnut mare, flaxen mane and tail. She'll call her Featherfoot.
Yes, that's a good choice for name, isn't it, Umara?
Featherfoot.
Yeah, like feathering.
Oh,
Who's feathering?
don't worry about it.
All right.
It's a meta.
Yep. All right. So, anyway, so you have steeds, so they'll travel even faster.
Okay.
So you come back out at the base of the pass. Now you still have to climb up the pass.
We get winter clothes,
That's
heavy
probably,
duty winter clothes,
that's probably a good idea.
and anything else we might need for winter, and extra foodstuffs, and some sort of magic fire starter if we can make one, or buy one like a tinder twigs or
Magic fire starter, like dubstep.
something that produces flame would be good. I have the spell, produce flame. Like,
You also have the spell create food or water, don't you?
yeah, but remember it's bland. But I can provide a hero's feast. I have a bowl. I've invested in it, and so we can always have a hero's feast in the morning or in the night, so that we will be protected for 24 hours against poison and it'll be a blessing, and I think does a couple other things.
Yeah. All right. This dragon's
Jackson, we need a horse for Jackson. Jacob,
Yeah.
Jackson. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we do
that's
need a horse for him.
Okay,
And
so
make sure.
you'll have a standard quarter horse for him. He's lower level, so quarter horse will work.
Okay. All right, that's fine. They're good animals. Solid, sensible, good workers.
he could probably ride with me if he wants.
No, no.
No,
Your goat's pretty close to taxed.
Thank you for that. All right. This
Since
You're
you
a
weigh-
stone giant.
And you've already declared you were large, remember? So
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't stack large
I'm
on
a-
top of large, remember?
I'm a tubster.
You're
All right. Onward to Concordia.
Alrighty, so we're climbing up the pass here. The first part is pretty easy by horseback, but as you get into in the higher altitudes, you're going to have to actually get off and walk your horses along the narrow pathway. Each one of you will therefore need to make 2 checks. First one would be for your own sure-footedness, which would be at advantage dexterity of 15, but the horses are more sure-footed, but they don't get advantage, so give them 12s.
um
I make mine.
advantage.
Yeah.
We have advantage.
Yes.
Got a 19.
Okay, we both made it. The horse made it on the last roll.
Does
was
a
got a
13
16.
make it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right, I made it.
Okay.
Made it as well.
Okay. So you guys have made it up.
Four-footed animals are harder to trip up.
As you get up near the top, you come to a place where there is literally looks like the face of a gray dragon facing you. The mouth is open, and there are metal rails on the sides of the mouth that make it look like the lay of a tongue, but it's actually rails like a wagon rail going wagon tracks into the mouth of this dragon. You can pass around it and continue on up onto the plateau, or you can pass into the mountain here, whichever you prefer.
Do you think it might be like a tunnel leading somewhere? I certainly don't want to go down in a cave that has no exit.
I'm all for pressing onward.
Okay, I do an augury. Wheel or woe to take the mouth that go down the tunnel in the dragon's mouth.
Oh, definitely wheel.
Okay. It says it's of benefit to go into the mouth of the dragon.
Okay. All right, then let's go.
Right.
So
Because whatever-
even though your collective decision was to go the other direction, the voice of a god is going to give you the direction you wish to follow. Just wanted to make that clear.
I completely forgot.
Because two of you said we'd rather go overland, and then you went and checked with the gods for the other option. So.
Oh, this is really John. This is really funny.
Oh, what's that?
I have blind faith in these gods, even though
I know. So away we go into the caves. All right, so we're heading down into the caves.
Sure, yeah.
It is kind of odd that it's lit here, but this is the first time these characters have actually. I think you guys have interacted with. Oh, you saw Graveling before because Clicker had.
Trax.
Yeah, Trax had Graveling armor. So you see pools of Graveling stuck in little cupolas periodically down the wall of the cavern as it descends into the mouth.
How tall is the...
The passage is surprisingly tall. For what looks to be dwarvish construction, the tunnel entrance itself was over 15 feet high at the mouth of the dragon, which would make the dragon monstrous. You're talking gargantuan style. What's even creepier is that the tunnel structure inside appears to be bone structure, like you're literally walking down the gullet of an ancient dead dragon.
Boy.
Oh me.
After a ways, the passageway starts to tilt downward, and still the inside of the spinal column seems to be the staircase leading down inside of this structure. You can hear dripping of water someplace in the distance, and a steady but whistling sound of wind begins from behind you as the wind was passing over the mouth of the cave.
Okay.
Forward.
Okay.
Yeah, she has a light spell up. Actually, she has.
You don't need it because the light from the
Oh,
gravelings
yeah.
is as good as afternoon sun in here.
Good. Let's go.
Okay.
Besides that, she now has continual flame. She put continual flame in the temple, and she has 5
Nice.
of them she carries with her.
Nice. So as you're descending down this staircase, you come to a T intersection where the passageway goes to your left and to your right, and now a ladder is formed from the bones going further down the spinal column into the creature.
Okay.
It is feeling more and more
The
disturbing that
problem
you're
is the
inside
horses can't go down the ladder.
That's true, but they can walk down the 2 passageways.
Okay. We will use the passageways and not the ladder.
Left one or the right one? Left one would be headed back south. Right one would be heading north.
We want to go north.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's also a slightly declining path, but it's not nearly as precipitous. And then it comes to a place where the passage is long and narrow and smooth. The floor is now smooth, like the long bone of the upper arm or something.
Okay.
As you're passing down this arm, you hear voices ahead of you, and you can see on the ground in the area, even where you are right now, a lot of little clawed footprints. Like there's been smaller creatures in this area just recently.
Okay.
Your first
Kobolds.
thought, of course, your first thought was, of course, Blinn, but then your second thought is kobolds.
Yeah, because they're the underground ones, right?
Well, they're the ones that particularly are just they are dragonling looking creatures. They're little baby. They look like dragons, but they're just a lizard folk race that basically worship dragons.
Okay.
Bolts.
All right. Well, I guess I'll say hello.
And a voice from beyond, in the same tone of your voice, but in a much higher pitch, goes, "Hello!"
We are travelers passing through.
You are travelers passing through.
To whom am I speaking?
To Meme you are speaking.
Who is me?
Meme. M-E-M-E is what he said.
Meme.
Who is Meme? Me is Meme.
Well,
Who is you?
I am Miri.
About this time you hear a lot of scrabbling and you see shadows of dragon-like forms on the walls. There's a more brilliant light even than the gravelings behind that, and the shadows are large, like dragons. I mean, they look like might be 10 or 15 foot long dragons from the shadow size.
We are not here to harm you. We are here to pass through.
About this time, the tops of the heads of the kobolds pop over the top. You realize the shadows were just forced perspective by being close to it, and says, "I am Reginald, the bard and courier for the kobolds of Quentin."
Reginald, you say.
Indeed, and you are?
I am Torgcord Brobdingnag, and these are my companions.
Oh, not Metabrob Dingnag. Is that anything like a hoochie coochie?
No, he is king of the Goliaths of High Peak.
I am giant-esque.
And I am dragon-esque.
Well met.
We shall be good friends.
You say you have bards?
I am the chief bard of my peoples.
I have a question. Do you know how to counter song?
Usually we start off with and a 1 and a 2.
Are you aware of what's happening outside of this mountain range?
There's something outside of this mountain range?
Yes. Have you ever met those?
An incursion of goblins?
An incursion? How many is an incursion?
Countless number.
Ah, less than 2 then.
No,
Oh no. Ever heard of a beach?
A beach.
Ever
Yes,
heard of sand?
that was my mother-in-law.
Oh, roasted. Oh, okay. Anyway,
Oh, you even know the proper epithet for dealing with kobold dragons. Burn! Serious burn!
oh god. Have you ever heard of sand?
Sand.
Yes.
like in a river.
When,
Little pieces of rock.
oh,
Tiny, tiny, tiny.
Have you ever?
weighs as much as a duck?
No,
No.
weighs
Oh.
less.
Small pebbles in the stream?
Smaller.
Okay.
Bread?
Answer. I'll
Churches?
try a different. We'll try a different tactic. How deep is the earth?
Well, if you sit and stare at it long enough, it will stay staring at you longer. So it's pretty deep.
Okay. There are a lot. There's more than 2 goblins outside, and
More
they're
than
bards.
2? Oh, goodness. We could face a few, but I don't think we could face a couple.
Yeah. That's what we're looking at. Have you seen them? Do you know about them? What they're doing out there?
Last night I could have swore I saw the samba.
Ugh. Yeah, that's what they're doing. We're trying to avoid these goblins and go north. Is there a way out of this place we're in now?
Of course there's a way out. The way you
That's not
came
through the
in?
mouth. Okay.
There's other ways out too, but they are secret ways. Only
Well-
known to the dragon kind of Quentin.
Well,
Um,
do you know something? I think it would be super if you showed us the way. And then we
Would it?
can
Would it?
keep it.
What,
Yeah.
what would it be worth for us to show you the ways of the dragons of Quentin? Oh, I
How
stumped you
long's
with
that
that
gonna
one,
take?
eh?
Yes, because I don't know what you would like.
Shiny things. We have a
Oh, yeah,
have
okay.
a queen who demands sparklies. Do you have any sparklies?
I have a sparkly here that you might be interested in.
Ooh, show me your sparkly.
It's a ruby, but it flames.
Ooh, a flaming sparkly. I like
And
a
it-
flaming sparkly.
And it
Mary,
always
why don't you give them your orb,
stay-
Mary?
I what?
Why
No,
don't
no,
you give them your orb?
quiet. No. I can't give it up. Do you know what I have to do to give it up? I have to die.
Oh. Well, then get.
Here, I will give you this.
A flaming,
I dare
a
you.
flaming ruby sparkly?
Yeah, and it will always stay flaming.
Ooh, so it's a never go out. It's a ever burn.
Yes.
Ever burn for the ever dark. I like this.
But it's a very special stone.
Oh, very special. Why is it very special? Is it a prism? Because we heard about them.
Oh, really? You did?
Uh-huh.
Like,
Have you heard
When
about
when the ruler of the world came first to us, he showed us the wisdom of his ways.
And who was the ruler of the world?
Warfall?
Lowfall.
Warfall.
Yes, we know of him.
hmm He's a great man, only 12 inches tall.
He came to you, of Quentin.
Well, of course.
What did he want?
What did he want? He wanted passes north because the people of Concordia wouldn't let him back in. They
Oh.
said he betrayed them.
Okay. Could you show us that way out?
Okay. Now that you gave me a sparkly, I certainly can give you the way out.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Can I call this the Eye of Miri?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Behold the Eye of Miri, Witch of the West. Ah!
Oh wow.
Oh, not a witch.
Oh. The
Well, if
bitch!
you,
The bitch of the West!
Semantics.
You're also not from the West, you're from the East, remember?
yeah, I'm from the east.
Oh, okay. Okay. Not the witch from the West, she's the bitch from the East. Even that's not right.
Oh.
She just leaves it. Okay.
Right.
She just.
Oh man, I'm face palming.
You should be. All right. So they do show you how to eventually get out. Basically, it's at the wrist of the dragon, and it's considerably further down, and it is beyond what would have been an impassable passage for your horses. So,
Good.
Hmm.
Great.
well, for the non.
You
the
have been
non-Marians,
most kind.
That's okay. We busy. We
All right.
excavating. We you can let people know that we are awaiting the arrival of the Fellstone.
Was the dragon? Oh. Oh yeah, sure. I'll let Volaire know next time I
Somebody's
see him.
If you let him know, this is supposed to be the final resting place of the final Fellstone.
Okay, I'll let him know.
I will let him know.
Yes, and tell him that.
No, Mary, I will let him know. I called dibs on it first.
That's fine, Cord.
That's right. I'll let him know first. Touching on my job, unbelievable.
Well, she did give us the stone, so she should have some privilege.
Thank you. But you have been very kind as to show us the way out. And I hope if we pass this way again, you will be kind again.
Oh, probably not. Once the Fellstone gets placed, the curse will be lifted, and we will be returned to our ways.
Oh, that's
Happy.
wonderful. What are your ways?
It's best I don't tell you because then you won't want it to happen.
That's fair enough. Thank
Will
you.
you turn into dragons?
Do not tempt us any further.
Mary, it's best we head out.
Okay.
Goodbye, Reginald.
Goodbye, warriors of the East.
Thank you.
Yagam.
All right.
Okay.
We continue on our
Yes.
snowy journey.
And you're just now coming out of the mountains onto the plateau. And the first thing you'll notice is that the weather changes really quite radically. It becomes unseasonably warm. I mean, you're expecting at this elevation to be downright cold, and yet you see deciduous trees in full flower. There are deer wandering among the trees, thick enough that your hunters will be able to hunt them down with no
This
problem.
is supposed to be all snow. What happened?
And
Magic.
Furthermore, you'll notice that in the ground, emblazoned every 40 yards or so in a line perpendicular to your travels, are silver seven-sided stones embedded in the ground.
But they're not parallel, they're perpendicular. They're crossing our path.
That is correct.
7-sided stones.
Yes, about 18 inches across. Very similar to the shape of the emblem that might have been in the side of that mountain where the orb was.
Is this a puzzle?
I don't know. 7 sides. I go to the left counting the stones. See how many there are.
Well, just traveling down to the little stream that divides this valley, you've counted 24 of them.
Okay, she turns around and goes the other direction.
On the other side, there's more than that going up the mountain, and you can see them glinting against the mountainside. To the north of them, the grass is green and the plants are verdant. To the south side, they are showing signs of frost and ice.
It seems that this is a boundary between the snow and the green. Maybe a magical barrier that holds back the winter? I,
Hmm.
from the map, it looked like this was nothing but solid snow and ice.
Strange.
Are we in the now?
You have been. Yes, you haven't left the now.
There's no
Well,
storm.
she's questioning it
Yeah.
because that it shows us all white. I mean, the map shows all white, doesn't it? Through the
Well,
path.
maps can change, Mary. This is obviously.
I'm gonna go look just a second.
Because I thought I saw the path as kind of the middle.
I think we should go interact with it first.
We should go where first?
We should go interact with it.
Interact
Somehow.
with what? Cross? You mean cross the barrier?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
go. Yeah. All right.
The one thing we're a little short on is wizardly power.
Pull out my map so I can look specifically for you. Da 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 da. Zoom. Actually, no. It's surprisingly forested, even on the map. You're on the west side of the
okay.
mountain range that separates Cryopathia from Chantroa, because Concordia is up there right between them.
Okay.
So yeah, you're in forested territory for a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days at least, going north.
Well, will make it much more pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
So she ties up the heavier clothes and
Yep, just stores it
for
for
right
later.
now.
Uh-huh. And about 2 days north, without any incident, you guys have been actually enjoying the warmer temperatures, and maybe even in the summer, in the hotter part of the days, could actually enjoy taking a dip in the cool stream there.
Yeah, they clean off
Yep.
during the warm part of the day.
But as you prepare to head out on the third day, you see a cavern ahead of you in the side of the mountain. It seems odd that there would be such a passage directly into the rock, but it looks like a natural cave almost 60 feet high in the center. And goes like a mouth of like a maw, like a huge maw opening into the ground.
She's thinking dragon. I'm thinking dragon.
Mm-hmm. By the way, at night, from the distance, you could hear the drum beats. You realize that you are really close to the borders of Chantroa. So some nights it's closer than others, but it's at quite some distance. You can calculate just the amount of sound that it's probably miles and miles away, but you can still hear the drums in waves carried on the winds.
The drums are not the same as the actual tune, right?
This is
The
unsettling.
drums are that's the rook. Those are the drums of Chantroa. That's not goblins.
Oh, okay.
Those are the spider riding tribesmen. They're a different kind of danger, but you haven't run into them yet at all. But just the drums, there's no musicality to it. There's no. It's
just a boom, boom, boom.
Just percussion. It's a polyrhythm. So one set of drums is doing a 4/4, another one's doing 30-second beats, that kind of thing. So kind of sounds more like a drum room at Dragon Con. But anyway, this cavern is open, and one of the tributaries off of that little stream is trickling down into it. Are we going to explore the cave, or just mark it on the map and keep moving?
I have no druthers one way or the other, but it seems to me it's big enough to hold a dragon, and I don't think that's what we're here to face.
Well, the opening is large enough you could actually encamp your entire 500 person army inside of it without a problem.
Okay.
As you do so, you'll see standing in the back of the cavern, in rows leading down, there are what appear to be hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers.
Like alive or dead?
Carved out of stone.
She goes to examine them.
Yes. It's again that creepy, fine detail that suggests they might have at one time been alive and petrified. But the style of their armor predates anything you've ever seen before, except for maybe a couple of the suits in Regulus's collection.
If we can wake these sleepers up, but that would be a bunch of stone to flesh spells.
Hey, maybe someone got their gore gone around here. Huh?
Could be. If it was a Gorgon up here, it would be a Gorgon of Trentroa, though, not a of Dol Guldur. So.
Where's Dol
Dol Guldur is going to be in Dol Gul, which is south of Trelora, south towards Yeah, it's just north of Tirkun. Yeah, I think I did a good job of planning that for her enemy to be in Dol Guldur, which is in Dol Gul, and his enemy to be in Tirkun, just south of there.
Okay. However, we might have an ally here that's capable of fighting the Blinn and maybe even not being affected by. What are they, human? Elves?
Now you go study a little bit closer. They appear to be zombies.
Oh no.
It's a skeleton. It's a stone-formed army that used to be undead. In particular, they have no eyes. They have their noses plugged with some kind of material, and their lips have been sewn shut.
Yep, seen these before.
Yeah, we've seen this before.
Right, but these are the grown-up versions.
Well,
this would be the second wave. You guys killed off the first wave with the children, but this is the second wave. This is the ill-fated. Remember the army that marched way back when? This is them.
Yeah.
This is them. Something kept them from moving any further than this. And you are in a place known as Dragonbone Pass, or near it. So you could theoretically be exactly where you think you are, in the mouth of some kind of dragon's lair. But what kind of a dragon would keep around undead zombies?
Yeah.
Like a lich?
That would be the one.
Caught him. All right, so
at this moment, if Amara is listening, she probably caught that and is probably shivering a bit.
That happens a lot for some reason. All right, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, you probably will want to, because I don't think she's here.
Second.
Umara, Dragon Lich. Umara?
I think she's AFK. All right. I don't think there's anything we can do here.
Unless you want to go farther into the cave and see what brought them here, because they're all facing down into the cave.
Okay. I'm
Wheeler Woe.
She takes out two of the
Did you hear what
things.
he asked? Did you hear what he said?
What? Willow?
He said Wheeler Woe. He says check.
Okay. Yeah, new day. Wheeler Woe. Wheeler Woe.
Wheeler Woe what? What's the question? Did I lose you guys?
I said if I enter the the cavern further, will it be weal or woe?
The way you asked it, I have to answer wheel and woe. So what you gonna do when they come for
I
you?
have I have a weal and woe.
That's correct.
So something of benefit and something of no benefit or negative, a positive and a negative.
Yep.
Mara, Jackson.
They're all dead. They're all dead, Jim.
I'm not, I don't get that reference.
I'm here.
Star Trek. Bones goes into place and he checks their life signs of the other members as he's calling out their names. Umara, Jackson, and the doctor goes, "They're dead, Jim."
Oh, I mean,
What?
What do you want, Jackson? Do you think they should go into the cavern with the undead that are staring into it, that are now skeletal, that are now turned to stone, or do you leave the cavern all alone and go past it?
Maybe we should leave.
Maybe we should leave. About as ambivalent as the wheel and woe.
all right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna let Jackson call this one. I think we should go around.
It's not penetrated any further.
All right, just mark it on the map as cave of the undead and move on.
Sure.
Yeah. The undead stone
near
zombies.
Should we leave a warning to anyone who comes here?
I think an undead legion turned to stone in the maw of a cave is warning
Probably
enough.
enough of a warning. Yep. All right. So moving on forward. Again, a couple more days of peacefulness as you basically have to climb around the rock that mountain represented. And as you come around into a central valley, you see a brilliant white signpost. It's one of these news center kind of places. It's a pole that has on the top of it a little gabled roof, and each of the gables faces north, south, east, and west, and the little counter gables just have these little cups on them, like for catching rainwater or whatever. And there's a post underneath on each side where you would put your news from each side. And in this direction, as you're coming from the south, there is a banner placed there, like somebody's nailed a little banner to that signpost. There's places.
What does the banner look like?
Well, it's just a scroll and it's partially rolled up because it's been there long enough that it's kind of dried out. At the bottom, though, you can make out just below a picture that's kind of covered by the folds, the word reward.
Okay.
Do you have mend that you could maybe fix the image, right? Does someone have mend?
Does Miri have mend?
No, I do not have mend. I'm sorry, I only have 4 cantrips and I picked ones that were...
Right. Umara, you got mend? Second call for Umara. I think I saw her for a second there.
Mara?
Umara, we'll call you Umara because that's your only name. Wow, that was horrible. I was trying.
Yeah. It's late. It's okay, John. Let's see.
That's okay. So Umara is completely stymied, does not have a message. As you go up there and get a little bit closer, you can actually read.
Oh, I have mending!
You do have mending.
Yes, I will mend.
Look at that. She makes amend. And the sign now reads, "Wanted for crimes against Concordia," and it's got a picture of Atherton, and beneath it, theft of artifacts, cheating in a dance competition, rape and larceny.
Wow.
Atherton crimes.
What's the reward for him?
Concordia, for his return to trial, is offering 100 gold pieces.
Oh, whoopee.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Oh, whoopee! Hang on, remember how much money that is.
I know.
She has 75 million gold pieces.
I know. She's just blinking her eyes at it.
But again,
two
it's
digits.
money I can't even get changed.
3 digits. Disgusting.
Yeah.
It's more money than anybody in this entire kingdom will have seen in their entire lifespan. And you're going.
And then each one of the old team has that many.
Oh, I know. You guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah. At first I thought it was.
Anyway, on the north side of that same sign is a reward for somebody by the name of Tongue Eater, and it shows a picture of a baboon who's wanted for stealing pies from windowsills, for leering at people, and for loitering.
And this country has gotten the long end of the stick with our villains, it looks like.
And they want to offer 10 silver pieces for any information on the arrest of Tongue Eater.
He's as important to destroy as Atherton is. If we're talking about the Tongue Eater that thinks he's Tongue Eater and is trying to become something else by using the masks. I wonder why we find all of them up here.
I've never been to Concordia. Maybe they came from Concordia. I don't know.
I thought he was down to the south.
Yes, that's where the post would have been the one facing south. So you'd been on the north side of the post looking south.
Okay.
The one you just were looking at was the one that you're looking at as you're coming south going north. To the one on the east side is an invitation to bards and minstrels to join in the joyful noise that there's going to be a music competition for bards of all levels being supported by the Orange Veil.
Oh, we need them.
Mary.
Where? We need them.
Mary, this could be a ruse to get bards under the thrall of Atherton's music.
Which way is it facing?
It's facing east, so it's on the west side of the pole.
It's on the west side of the pole, facing east.
Regardless.
And on the east side of the pole, facing west, is a warning and gives 4 points you need to watch out for to avoid being endangered by the Chun Tro Ah. Number 1, if you hear 4 sharp pips on a pipe, run. If you see spiders' webs, run. If you what's the third one? Oh, if you smell leather, run. And the fourth thing is, if it's nighttime, you probably should run.
Okay.
That's on the
east side of the post, facing west.
Facing west. Well, we're not going west, that's for sure. We came from the west. But we came from the south. Okay.
Other than that, on the bottom of the post on the south side, there's a big sign that says,
it might be...
Welcome to the nation of Concordia. All governments are welcome. All people are welcome. Scrape your boots as you cross the border, please.
Okay. Cord, I'd still like to get a gander at this meeting and find out if there's any goblins around or section or anybody playing that song.
We're going north, Mary.
We have to warn them not to get caught in it. We have to warn them to use counter song.
Well, the date for it suggests that it'll be held tonight, and the directions to it suggest that it'll be held about 5 miles west of your current location.
Mary, You understand that I'm pretty sure if they don't convert people with their music, they will kill them, right?
Yes, but we can forewarn these people on how to prevent it.
And seal their fates, in my argument.
Either way, do you want them dominated and used by the blend against us?
Think about it, they're preserved by their domination so that they're not killed because
But
they
then
can't be
they'll
used.
act against everybody else.
Right, we just need to hold off until we have the resources to deal with the situation. I'm saying we can't deal with it now, and if we try and prevent them being dominated, we're just going to kill them.
It's not right to just leave them without warning, Cord.
If they resist, I'm pretty sure they're going to be killed.
Look they don't have to resist, they can just disappear and go away. They can move away if they know what they're facing.
Do you want to convince a concert of bards that they're in danger of being dominated by goblin music?
Yes, because bard song is bard song is bard song, and it makes no difference on the race.
Oh, okay.
Look at Jace played. I heard halflings play. I've heard elves play.
It's not about the race. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there were Secgen in that town that were playing their song.
Oh, okay.
It's only 5 miles.
All right.
We can find the leader of the orange and give him the warning.
Okay, we'll go off course.
All right. So as you're headed into this area that you're been described as where this little village is, the terrain is pretty smooth and easy traveling, and you do see several wagons that are the people who basically camped out, waited outside of town, or are headed in for the party tonight. So there might be 8 or 10 wagons worth of people you can talk to on the way in if you want to, or you can bypass them and head straight on into the city.
Well, she asked him, "Do you have a leader of this group?"
She goes, "Well, we are localized minstrels, and we've only recently discovered the concept of the Order of Jubilethans, and we were approached by a wagon of their kind some time ago, and they promised that they would reunite us, but there was supposed to be something called the caravanserai, and it never happened. So we thought maybe they'd fallen off the plane of the earth, so to speak, plane of existence. But the good news is that all of a sudden we see this banner that says that by the Order of the Veil, Order of the Orange, we can test our skills. It sounds like a lot of fun."
Wait a moment. You just saw a banner.
Yeah, that's what we saw. Didn't you see it just recently? Points back down the road to where the banner was that you saw it.
Have you seen the leader of this group?
No.
Would you do me a great favor right now? Hold off going in until we found something very disturbing. We found it seems that goblins are using bardic music to dominate people.
What?
They're using bardic.
Blends don't even have bards. What are you talking about?
No, apparently they have enough of a bard that what they have done is enthralled and dominated humans, while other races that do have music.
Huh.
And they've taught them a song that after a minute you become dominated.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Well, it's impressive in a very bad way. You understand domination, don't you?
Well, no, I'm not high enough level to cast it yet, so I don't understand it.
They can permanently make you their creature, their slave. They can tell you anything and you will do it.
Okay, sounds awful.
It is awful.
So you know this because
because we met them and we heard the song. And we found a town of people, of section of humans at least, and they were playing the goblin song and they were acting, well, very strangely for people who kept on wanting to welcome us.
but
Uh,
do you happen to know Feldspar from Olinstown?
who's Felspar?
Oh, Feldspar, he's another bard. He doesn't like the way I play, and he often tries to keep me from competing because he knows that I can kick his ass on the lute. And so, is this some kind of trick to keep me from performing?
I don't know this person. I come from far from the south. We have come up here because we heard there was a great problem brewing, and I think we have encountered this problem.
Okay,
And I don't want people to be caught up in it and become enthralled. No, enthralled is not the right word.
I
Dominated.
know you.
No,
You said that before. I get the picture. Well, I don't see any problem, any harm with going to find out, though. Shouldn't we go ahead and investigate?
yes.
All right. So we'll
Can
make.
I? Can you dress me up like one of you in something sort of bardic, or can you use my
What?
garment to change me into something sort of bardic?
This was supposed to be a short stop.
Shortstop. Yes, but I was thinking of disguising myself, and you're my bodyguard, and she's my dueña,
So
but
you're
I'm a bard.
right. So you're going to go on into town. Is what I'm just clarifying.
That's what I'm going to try.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception test.
Okay. Please roll well. Okay, let's see. Perception for her.
I got 8 and 11.
Perception is +5. Okay, that will be a 19 total. I rolled a 14.
Okay. Yeah. The very first strains you hear sound beautiful. The second stanza though strikes you as being in the same meter as the music that goblins are
That's
playing.
it. That's it. Get out of here.
This is what I haven't even heard it all yet.
You don't have to. You can't listen to it for a minute. Otherwise, you're dominated. Just get out of here. Stuff your ears. If anybody you know in there, drag them out of there. But after
Well,
you,
no. If you're saying that, you're telling them to go in there. If you're telling them to get out, you get them to get out.
yeah,
Which
get
are you
out,
doing?
get out,
It'll
get out.
take okay. Because
I'll tell him to get out.
yes.
I stuff my ears.
So she starts. So she gets to the point where she's like manic, shouting at people, trying to get them to turn around.
Muriel, let's just leave.
Okay. And as she's adamant about other people and trying to get as many as she can, she'll actually wait till the last minute, and you'll see that the town is actually turning out. And as they turn out, the women have all like put on linen shifts. The men are banging drums and playing music along with the band, and yeah, it's a Stepford Wives situation here too.
See, Miri, what I tell you, it was going to be a trap. Let's keep going.
Well, I hope to avoid.
The good news is she saved a couple of bards, and then they know where you're from, so they will try to rejoin your cause farther to the south. They know not to stick around now, so they thank you for that.
I have come from Bridgeton.
Yeah, we got that. I got that. I figured you would tell them that. So
Yeah.
all right. So you're continuing northward, and after passing that sign again, you'll notice that it does say "Welcome to Concordia proper." I think I said this before. All are welcome. All governments are welcome. Please proceed to the capital with joy. And as you're going down the road, you have these mental pictures of what you've been told about Concordia. Concordia at one time was supposed to be a grand capital of a unified Nycos, that all governments at one time had agreed to let the nation known as Aranar become Concordia, a place of one concord, where all of beings of the planet would gather together in kindness and unity, and that's what kind of what you're expecting as you climb to the top of the ridge and look down into the valley where the city is, and the city is a wall of ruin.
Hmm.
There are molds and giant fungi and hideous mangled vines creeping about the buildings throughout the valley, and it looks like it might have held a population close to that of Cauldron at one point, so it's a pretty extensive city. And it was actually along the edge of a place known as Drybergen, where there were three rivers. Where three cities came together, and the three cities had two rivers, and I'm sorry, yeah, two rivers. So there was also known as Zweibrücken, and it's got this Germanic kind of feel to the place as far as the structures of these big brownstone buildings, but everything is covered by these mushrooms and moss and
Somebody has blighted this place.
yes, it literally looks like they've cursed the living. The interesting thing is that the temperature here is just as warm. It may actually be a little bit warmer, so it feels almost tropical with the amount of humidity that these creatures, this life form base that's down there, is generating. So that it's actually keeping its own ecosphere functioning because the
Yeah.
mosses and stuff are creating enough warmth from the decay.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
the good news is that you know that within this city realm there must be plenty of buildings to look at. I'm going to have to take about a 3-minute break, guys. I'll be right back. My dad just called, so give me a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the stream on pause, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. Done.
All right.
It shook her. Okay. And since that time, she knows what it is. You know, it just, she wants someone to love her and she loves them. And it could be anything.
And all of a
She
sudden,
would have,
I'm hearing Queen playing. Can anybody find me?
Oh yeah, I was having a
Someone
discussion.
to love.
I was having a discussion with Miri about why she does not want to become a god.
Yeah, she wants to have family. She wants to have a progeny on Earth first.
Yeah.
Someone to care. Alrighty.
yes, because that's an incomplete part of her life.
Yes.
I wish you well, Miri, on your quest for a family.
Well, apparently I will have one.
Sounds like it.
Or children, at least. And I can't see me
With the one without the other. Yeah.
getting one without the other part of it. Someone she cares about.
Alrighty. So, we now ran away from the
The other
the,
overtaken people.
the town that was falling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We're heading north.
Of course, that town was named for the decaying overpass over the water there. So it was the town was known as Rundown Bridge. So Rundown Bridge is falling down. I'm sorry.
Oh my
Oh no.
god.
Okay.
Alrighty. So also, so far you've not seen the thing that's disturbing is that in both those cases, both the villages, you didn't see any Blinn at all.
No, because because once who is it said that, oh, the guy that we were talking to, Blinn don't have bards. Well, they probably got somebody to dominate the first bard and they just build it up from there. If I remember right, it was other
Or
races where they're bards.
I may pose maybe the non-Blinn aren't undead Blinn, but they're normal people or bards or something like that.
Mm.
Yes, but he said the greater part of his army was
Okay, so
was the unblend.
you're coming down into the valley of Concordia, and it is really the saddest thing you can think of because all of the streets were laid out kind of in a Jeffersonian circle, with the Capitol rising taller than the other buildings around it, and so it's got this idyllic appearance of a civilization that truly cared about equality. The major roads were all radials that led into the central portion of the city, but all of it's under this gray cloud of funguses and weird musk looking what's the word I'm looking for? Musk creeper kind of plants, and
Yeah.
it just looks awful. But it is a city proper, so what kind of structures would you like to explore since you come all this way?
A church. A church.
A church. Well, you will actually find a temple of the Nine Veils. It is actually the first of them ever to be built, was built here. And it's not in the center of town, it's 2 buildings over, but it's just north of the center of town. And its structure, even though it's smaller slightly than the Capitol's central dome, it has 7 spires and 3 entrances to represent the 9 veils, the 10 precepts.
Okay.
So
it has 7 spires and 3 other edifices of some sort.
Right.
Okay.
So fundamentally, your entrances are wider and shorter, but they are just as prominent because of their depth. And those are the black, white, and gray entrances. And then the other 7 are the colors of the rainbow.
All right. He goes to the green one and enters.
Of course, as you enter, you have to enter through the black, white, or gray. That's the only 3 entrances.
Okay. Black is freedom, right?
Yeah, liberty.
Liberty. She walks through that one.
Okay. Now, the entire structure is mostly covered with the same gray dust and mold and such, and so you kind of have to discern a bit to figure out which one is the black entrance. But as you enter it, you notice that the tapestries and rugs that would be in this first primary entryway basically have all been decayed away by the different funguses and molds and stuff, so it's all just ratty bits and remnants of a carpet.
God, I'm trying to think of what spell I might have or what I might do to
Mend.
clean
Mending.
this place up.
Mend or clean would either work, but anyway, from this point, you can discern where the other ones are. And if you have any curiosity about that, of course, you can go to Discord and see that simple chart that Travis put together.
Oof.
It shows you at least the order in which you should look at them, so that way you'll know which one's which. So you go to Discord, and then you go to
Consecrated this, would it?
pinned image, and then pull down to the second image. You'll be able to see the
Would
Very-
it clean it up?
very-
Clean it up?
very clear and obvious perceptions of the different emblems.
Okay.
1 + 1 = 2. That's simple.
Exactly, just as simple.
So we came to Concordia to get the hammer, or we came here
We
to...
don't know.
Somebody knows.
All right.
Civilization. This is civilization. You realize it's all civilizations came here.
We came here for clues as to where the prisms might be.
Because this is a place where all cultures shared their histories in the library.
I wonder if they have a library here.
There is a library here. Currently, you're at the temple, though. So, and
Yeah.
if you'll notice in the clear and evident map, the way Travis put it together, the Green Veil's worship center is in the center of it all.
Okay. She goes to the center and
Okay.
she says, there it is. What can I do to clean this place out of this infestation?
Infestation. Are you casting a spell or just asking the question rhetorically?
No, she does commune. It is covered with molds and fungus and the whole temple. It's to all the veils. But it's overrun. The whole city is overrun with this horrible growth, more suited to the underworld than here. It's like the whole place was cursed.
I would when you say that there's let's see.
I can remove curse.
Yeah, when you walk in and you ask that question, 3 candles will light up from your position. One at the temple of the white temple's candle will light, the blue temple's candle will light, and the purple candle will light.
She goes around and lights all the other candles on each of the other temples. I'm not sure why
the order in which you want to light them. Those 3 all came on at the same time.
Yes.
In answer to your prayer. So you want to go around and light up the others, you can do that, but I need to know the order in which you light them.
Okay.
Because you can't light them all at once like it did.
No.
And it did it in answer to your question. So I would think before you go lighting anything else. But
White is nothingness. Purity. Purity. I pray for purity. I can purify this place. Blue is protection,
which means you would protect this place.
and that would be a protection. And the last one is
Time.
purple and time.
It's kind of a joke. If you want purity in this location, you must protect yourself and clean it over time.
I will clean the green today. I promise to clean the rest later, given the time. I will return and clean
Okay,
this
so anyway,
place
she's going to
out.
spend her time cleaning. Cord said he was going to look for a library. Allie, we're going to go look for a
Yep.
library.
Yes.
All right. So the two of you basically head across the street, kitty corner, a third of the way around the central core of the capital. You will find the library of Vaul, Vaul.
Yay.
And of course, the first thought is, wait, Vol means gray, gray means power, but Vol also was the last to die. Remember the poem?
First to rise, last to fall. She will stay to save them all.
Exactly.
Nice.
First to rise, last to fall.
She
What's the
will.
rest of
She will stay to save. She will save. What was the last part you said? It.
She will stay to save them all, I
She will
believe.
save to save them all. That's correct, and she did. So the Vol Library, when you get there, the outside is like a fortress. All the doors are slammed shut. The bars apparently are clicked inside. The staircases are all got little spikes on them to make it difficult to climb up to them. This place is meant to last.
This is why I joined the Grey Veil. All right. Let's knock.
With your hand or with your mallet, your maul.
I'll do my hand.
As soon as your hand comes in contact with the outside of the building, make a Constitution save.
That is gonna be a 23.
Okay. So you bang on the door, and the echo of that impact shakes the entire building. And a voice says, a female voice says, "Is it you?"
Yes, it is me.
The doors unlock themselves. Make a
All right.
now make a charisma save.
Ooh.
Him only?
Him only. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna lucky that. That's a 19.
Well, good thing you had the lucky then, huh? Because there
Yeah.
wasn't a 19 the first time.
It was a 12.
Okay, so yeah, you actually feel the stoniness of your existence becoming more solid.
So
Like
I feel heavier?
No, something tried to petrify you, and you shook it off.
Nice.
The doors are all open, and the voice says, "Welcome, brother. Share the truth, share the power."
Thank you for welcoming me. Is she cool? I want to point to Amara.
Yes. It doesn't have to answer. Just you point at her. Nothing happens. That you can tell.
Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna walk inside the doors. Or I've already done that. I'm gonna.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's a library. Without knowing how they stored books, it's literally going to be hour upon hour searching. So,
I would like to cast enhance ability on myself.
Okay.
The one for intellect.
Okay.
I'd like to phone a friend.
Yeah. Nice.
50-50?
What are you? Okay. When you say phone a friend, what are you going to call out?
I'm gonna send a message to Theo.
Okay.
Theo,
Uh huh.
what am I looking for?
Well,
looking
if
for-
you're facing the Tarask, you'll probably want to know the Tarancers. Get it?
What is its weaknesses? What is its strength?
Tarancers?
Yeah, the Tarancers. That tells you about the Tarask. Because if you Tarask me no question, I'll Tarancer
my-
you no lies.
Ooh.
You
her
do keep
answers.
this lighthearted, don't you?
Ooh.
Twist the
Um,
dagger in, stick it deep, and twist again.
Well, to answer sounded better than to question, so.
I'll to ask you a question.
And I'll Terrell you no lies.
Troll Lauren. Troll. No, that's not a good pun. Okay. I'm gonna look for the answers.
All right. So while we're looking for that, what is Umara looking for?
Anything that has to do with prisms in Lorethal.
Oh well, most of the references in Terran, of course, are blank, completely empty pages. But you can see that there are Elvish and Dwarvish and
I only speak Elvish.
okay, so you have to go through the Elvish records. The only problem with that is that elves are, because they live longer, they don't mind taking a long time to say things, so they're a bit, little bit like treants.
Wordy.
In the written format, yeah, it's going to take you longer to read through because they're just.
Well, that's why I also did enhance ability, so I could.
Right, that just means you're going to be accurate instead of having to chase dead ends and things like that.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're going to find out that yes, indeed, at the end of the age, the prisms were brought together and configured in a new way that caused them to cease to exist, and the despair at the loss of those weapons led the adventurers instead to seek out a place far to the south. And once they headed to that southern location, then the revening happened and all details are lost. The only other note that you have in Elvish is that a little person, 12-inch tall, which they thought was possibly a mutant halfling, came and tried to offer them the secrets of the universe, but the elves laughed him off, and he responded by saying he would take it to their cousins, the Trelorans, since the surface elves wouldn't listen to him.
I would like to look for one more piece of information about the. I want to look up the Nexus.
Ooh, good point. The stories of the Nexus suggest that there was, at one point, an open and rather Byzantine connection between all realms, inner planes, outer planes, and beyond, including possible gateways to other worlds, and that the Nexus itself was attacked during the period before the Revening, and were basically taken offline, and that the information about it has been forgotten, but the word forgotten is capitalized.
Well, it's not forgotten now. You know it.
All right, so on the Tarask, yeah, you find that it's a devastatingly terrible monster that only wakes up when it is when the time comes once per iteration. And what languages do you read, by the way?
Giant and common.
Oh, yeah. So you only have a few references, not very much at all, but it does refer to. I guess it would actually point to in the third iteration when the men actually went to the giants for assistance in dealing with the Tarask of the day, and a giant by the name of Garok basically humbled the humans by defeating the Tarask in hand-to-hand fights, and his is the only written record that the giants have, and it suggests that the biggest difficulty to overcome is the fact that the Tarask must not be touching the ground when it is dealt the death blow in order to kill it.
Um,
So as long as it's in contact with the earth, it cannot be destroyed.
well, that's
I mean, when it's in contact with Terra, there I said it again, Freudian slip. When it's in
oof.
contact with Nycos, it can't be destroyed.
All right. No, duly noted.
Yeah, and it describes its size as being, over 20 tons, and regenerates at an embarrassingly powerful rate, and also has damage absorption when it takes attacks. See,
I think
all the things that make you a tough fighter, it basically seems to be able to negate just by its existence.
I think I can get up to 20 tons mechanically in the realm of D&D.
It does also suggest that there are people that know how to defeat it, but you would actually have to speak to uh, the the midges of Tamandagan, because they were the only other species to actually defeat the Trask. In other eras, the Trask ran its rampage until it defeated whoever was sent against it, and then it just rampaged until it either met its own demise or was taken out of play by some other force that was not part of the story, so to speak.
So it is 10 o'clock.
Yep. So we will be having to call it. We can
I'll
stay
start.
around. We can definitely debrief for a little bit. I'll be online for another half an hour. You guys want to chit chat or whatever, but I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much for watching, folks. We will definitely see you next time. And be sure to catch our other episodes every day of the week, 1 o'clock p.m. and on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 6.